kabubus, narcissus, medusa, epasos, ashalalala susus, Minerva and kabubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Chaos, Dionysus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Epasos, ashalalala susus, Minerva and kabubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Cuscus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love Aphrodite, Ventus, Cuscus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, couscous, couscous.
動き出す窓の外眺めて遠くで揺れる光同じ先見つめ、yeah、 心はもうきっと気づいてる君じゃなきゃ意味ないありきたりかな口ずさむラブソングちびるに Your eyes tell me everything Just smile 笑い合えたら宝物だね約束なんて時代遅れと笑うけど僕ららしくていい話さないと誓うよ先読みなんてもう終わりにして僕の手を握って少し切ないそれもまた無勢な胸味 Your eyes tell me everything I need Just smile 笑い合えたら宝物だね 頭の中に響く声見えすいた嘘で似たようなセリフ並べてばかりねからくりなんて甘いだってきっと行く末は同じ素直になんて求めてないって嘘が消えた綺麗にも見えすいた嘘もいつか愛せるって思ってたのにねからくりなんて甘いだってきっと行く末は同じ素直になって求め合えたらって嘘のままで綺麗にもOsteonissus, Hera, Hermesicarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Epasos, Ashalalala, Susus, Minerva, Ecobubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Bendisca, Osteonissus, Hera, Hermesicarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Epasos, Ashalalala, Susus, Minerva, Ecobubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, then discus, Hera, Hermesicarus, I love Aphrodite, then discus, Hera, Hermesicarus, Hera, Ecobus.
love it when you couscous. Love it when you couscous.
Love it when you couscous.
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 Couscous, 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 couscous. Love it, love, love, love it, love, love, love it, love, 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 love it, love it, love, love it, love. I love it when you couscous. Love it, love, love, love it, love, love, love it, love, 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 love it, love it, love, love it, love. I love it when you couscous. Love it, love, I love it, love, I love it, love, I love it when you love it, love, love it, love. I love it when you couscous. Love it, love, love, love it, love, love, love it, love, 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 love it, love it, love, love it, love. I love it when you couscous.
Welcome back, everybody, to the APL, of course, the best of the Asia Pacific. Going head-to-head today, we're doing Asia. Pengu, it's been a while since you and I have done Asia League, isn't it?
We're doing Asia?
Sorry, OCE. Did I say Asia the first time as well? Did I say Asia twice? Because in my head, I was literally... Because we did Asia the other night, right? And here I am like... We're finally in my home region. We're finally casting the Aussies and the Kiwis going head-to-head.
You said region and then with Asia, and I was like, you're biased,
stared down the camera, and I'm like, Asia League. No, it's OCE tonight. That's right. Yeah, we're doing OCE. And yeah, it has been a while since we did OCE. Of course, it's our first of Stage 2.
It is, and it's been a long time. That is true for this particular region, and we don't have all that. It's a bit of a shame. Only 7 teams in the region, of course, losing GG between last stage and now. The schedule, you see Dream Warriors up against Enterprise Esports. Personally, I'm very excited about seeing EP in action back again. Had the pleasure of meeting them at the EWC. And I met Player in particular doing a content piece with him. A great young lad, really funny, and of course very talented.
Yeah, of course, that's the team that most people will know from EWC, but another familiar face, the Chiefs, of course. They've re-entered Siege in 2025, and they're looking to attain that former glory of that good old Chiefs roster. They were the best in the region back in the day. It's been quite a turbulent 12 months, really, for OCE fans, hasn't it? I think it was about 12 months ago, just after the EWC, that Oda was dropped from Team Bliss. Team Bliss then went on to become the Game and Gladiators. They had a whole ordeal. Now they are out. That's right, the import roster has disbanded, and we run a 7-team league, which means we have 3 best-of-1s going on tonight. We'll get more into Chiefs and Man LFO, Ludvika and TSG later, but of course Dream Warriors versus EP is our first match tonight. Enterprise, you already mentioned them. Pengu, this is the best team in the region, indisputably right now.
Right now, maybe true.
All right, well, aside from Team Enterprise, of course, we've got the Dream Warriors. Now, anyone back home that hasn't watched Stage 1 so far, of course, we just had the one played, I believe it was Gus and Xenox who covered that. If you missed that one, then a little update for you. Dream Warriors are a continuation of the Saga Esports roster. Now, Saga were the bottom team out of Stage 1 in the OCE League. They unfortunately failed to win even a single map. They actually failed to get even a single point on the board. They went 007, not even pushing any teams to overtime. Funnily enough, the match that they actually got the most rounds in was actually against the best team in the region, Enterprise. So it is a rematch of what was Saga, now Dream Warriors, best map of Stage 1, which was their final map as well. It took them a little bit of time. You know, we saw quite a few 7-1s, a 7-2, a 7-0, but of course 7-3, ending it on at least a little bit more of a high. That said, Dream Warriors actually have had a little bit of an upgrade as to their roster as for this stage. So of course we've still got Freelo and Wizard. Eraser as well. is a player that has kind of, the three of them I would say are the kind of the newbies. Like they've been around for a year or so here in the OCE region, and yet they failed to get out of the out of the bottom two teams rather in any of those stages that they have played. Kakin and Reelers on the other hand, Kakin's been around for about 5 years, never really broken into the top echelon, and Reelers a promising gunner who's been around for a couple of years, but yeah, again, failed to make it to a top team.
The question is, when you're a young gunner, when you're an up-and-coming player, going into a tier 1, region, a tier 1 competition, how well can you perform off the rip versus how great is your potential long-term? And some people, they're gonna make it very quickly and find their stride and figure it out. And some players, we've seen actually in EML, for example, another different region, where a player can join from tier 1 or tier 2 into tier 1, and then immediately get kicked the following season because they weren't good enough off the rip. So what I would like to see here is just giving these, lesser experienced players time to actually develop and gel and not just get booted off one bad performance or one bad stage.
Yeah, of course, Saga changed a lot of their roster coming into Dream Warriors this time around. But of course, on the flip side, you want to talk about a team that's been together for a little while. This Enterprise roster, they haven't made a single roster change since they formed back actually before as Enterprise. Oh, you know what? I'm about to say that. They actually did make a roster change, of course. They got rid of Killer Man in favor of Player. That completely blitzed on past me, and it's funny because Penguin Player has been such a talking point for this Enterprise roster. He was on as a sub for a little while. He formerly, of course, played for Chiefs. And man, he has been a highlight for this team. Statistically, it's Tuhan that's stealing the glory, but I know you had a good chance to speak with Bap, and he's a very impressive young player.
No, yeah, it's been really great, honestly. And I think, like you mentioned, why, the roster change kind of flew under the radar is because player just kind of got slotted in, did his job, played really well. Normally, when you sub in a player and you're missing a link in the main roster, you think, they're going to underperform, play worse. The sub player is never going to be good or better. But in this case, that has just not been the story. As I said earlier, I did content with Facial Guy and Player at EWC, and they were a good bunch of fun guys to work with and talk to. And Player was super humble and nice and very, very talkative, being like, "Oh, hey, Pingu, I used to watch you play, etc. Now I'm here myself." And I was like, "How do you feel about you being at a tier 1 event?" He was like, "You know what? I'm just here for the vibes."
Yeah, I love that. There are a couple of players that you get to meet at events, and they have this kind of quiet confidence. They seem like normal human beings, and that's not the case for a lot of these players who come to esports events. Obviously, a lot of them are so young; it's intimidating getting into this big world. I know we spoke about it a lot with G2 Stomp and Bengu and how confident and personable he was. I've always felt the same with Spoit, another player who even from at a very young age had that kind of confidence and that really shines through. I think a level of maturity that helps players out when it gets to the big leagues. Of course, we're here just in Play Day 2 of the OCE League, playing BO1s in the group stage, and between what would in theory be the top and bottom team in the region, we end up going to Clubhouse.
I love that. If you know me, I'm a huge fan of Clubhouse. I feel like it's where good teams can really shine and show the fundamental differences in how good they are at min-max. And it's also where if you're a weaker team, you can prove just how good you can be in a matchup. But look at this prediction, 97% in favor of Enterprise, one of the most one-sided polls I have ever seen. That's tough,
that
man.
is unbelievable. Yeah, it's poor Dream Warriors. But you know what, Pengu? We talked so much about Saga and how this continuation of that roster struggled so much in Stage 1 to even find a point on the board. Well, Dream Warriors in their first play day, they already took down Outlast pretty significantly. Outlast being a bit of a merge of the old Outlast and the old Circular Spheres rosters. So a lot of good talent on that team. It's good to see that Dream Warriors have kicked things off looking solid, but there's a lot more to go, and a match against Enterprise is going to be about as tough as it gets. Let's see how the underdogs fare against the top of the region.
Enterprise to have one significant advantage here over the entire region. Because WC, they had the pleasure of running the Brazilian Gauntlet, facing off against NIP, losing, and then playing a best of 3 against Furia, also losing and then going home. Now, they lost, they went home early, whatever, that's not the point. The point is the experience that they've gained when playing the highest level caliber teams in the world, essentially. That can go a very long distance, especially if you are one of the lesser experienced players in somebody like the person player. Operator bans. Nothing too out of the norm here. Double wall denying bans here in both the Bandit and the Kaid. Clubhouse, as I said, one of my favorite maps. The reason for this is because it's very step 1, step 2, step 3 oriented. Step 1, of course, being the hard So here in the gym bombs, reinforced, of course, the bathroom wall right behind it. And then a lot of teams actually go all the way over to CCTV as well, and then reinforce those exterior walls as well, or the interior. So that's going to be the first step for most of these teams, or in this case both. You're going to be reaching the exterior wall, walk inside, reach the interior wall. Now the round kind of really begins. So removing the bandit and the kite from action here from Enterprise, starting on the attack inside, because you can get that first step done a lot quicker and a lot more effortlessly, and stage to start dissecting this round piece by piece.
I like that. You go up against a team where there's clearly going to be a bit of a skill disparity, and you just simplify things.
Yeah.
Just make it so you can get really quick and early breaches. Start of the round. It's too hard to begin that on CCTV. He's actually the only hard breacher available. Not even any tin can openers brought by the Enterprise side, so he's highly valuable. Also, might I add, Tuhan, the highest rated player on this team, and known to be quite a star fragger. He's the one on the hard breach.
I will, to be fair, in this particular instance, because you can just go CC breach the wall, Jacuzzi breach the wall, Tuhan is now a gun. He's done the gadgetry work off the thermite, right? So now, once the walls are popped open, he has a good gun, 2 flashbangs, and just go on the entry essentially, and allow other passive operators, like the Sense Brava Dokubi Finger, who has gadgetry, to then play the more supportive flex role, waiting for their turn. Thought they're gonna go for it there, but they're waiting.
They might find one here. There you go. Almost. No, Reelers actually gets out of dodge just in time. Looks like EP are preparing to pounce. What's this? Push Pengu straight on the back of the Sen's light wall. The projectors enable to cover. It's relays to go deep. And quite a simple plant push from Enterprise.
It's a bit off pace. I mean, I don't think they were expecting it. They weren't ready for it. Smoke, not in a position to use the gadget. Last player freelo there as well. Flawless round, just like that for Enterprise. And I mean, I think this comes off the fact that when Finger taking catwalk rafters, if I'm the Ella getting shot, I'm going, guys, they're taking CCTV side. They're making a rotate, right? They're not actually going to go for the bomb site. But then right as that happens, EP says, you know what, we see a guy in CC, he's going to be low, pop the finger stim, Sense Wall goes out, jump in the bomb site, up the main stairs, and hit every single angle at the same time. Dream Warriors don't win a single of those engagements. They fall by the side, bomb goes down, the round is completely and utterly over. And this is the thing. When you have a really good read understanding on what you want to do on the attacking side of Clubhouse, this map becomes so attacker favored, it's crazy. But however, if you're not a very good attacking team, that will obviously mean that the map can be very defender favored, because it's all about putting up a difficult problem to solve if you are a defender. And then it comes down to a skill check. Are the attackers clever enough to pick it apart correctly, in the right order, in the right way, to then go for a counterplay? In that round, Enterprise definitely had the cleverness to pick it apart correctly.
Well, it's what we expect to see out of Enterprise, isn't it? Having a clear idea of what the plan is, executing it without hesitation. They're also a very plant-focused team. Comes from Fisher Guy largely.
Yeah.
I love that sense. It's always exciting when you get to watch this team, because they're always going to bring something a little bit different. They're always going to be on the forefront of the meta, whether it is the Sens, or in this round, interestingly, the Fuse. It's the plan,
I do like it. So, if you go back like 4 years into the past, Brazil loved to play Fuse on the basement attack. It was back when people played like a lot of and of course when Goyo got introduced as well. You can use one single of Fuse cluster charge on, let's say, Moto hatch, kitchen hatch, etc. and just beam away a ton of different pieces of utility. Also, if the kite is being brought, you can of course destroy the kite claw. Not the case for this round. And I feel like it just gives you a good amount of adaptability. Fuse also has the can openers, his secondary heart breaching tool, which means you can now pair up that for the hatches, plus the capital. Right? They only have the capital to use the fire. Has been banned. The Grim bit more clean cut for Enterprise.
Yeah, and no shield as well. That could have easily been a Fuse shield without changing any of the utility brought in this lineup, but Fisher guys decided to bring the LMG instead. I assume that was deliberate. Sometimes there are loadout mistakes. I don't think that's what was the case here, but yeah, a bit of a strange run out from Real is very ambitious to go all the way out CCTV and straight into stock with no one aggressing. Perhaps if we'd seen Haken and Wizard retaking at the same time, it would have worked. But no, 1:15 remains on the clock, and Enterprise have dropped down to the kitchen hatch, and Relays is looking to drop some players on the side. He's deep into church. Haken sprays him on down, and the retake might be on. Fisho Guy thanking his lucky stars that he's got that LMG, because he's going to need it now in the 2 versus 2. With Tuhan coming in to support, Fisho Guy spotted from behind and taken down. Dream Warriors on the verge of finding their first round of 2. He can't clutch it. He spots the first one, takes him on down. Up to Kakin now. But I think Tui's got him dead to rides, sprays him right on through the Keepers, and it's an easy clutch up 1v2 for Tuhan.
So good. I mean, you said it, right? A high-spirited player, playing the hard support, playing the hard-destructing operators, the Thermite, the Ace, but he's just doing it all. Breaching, droning, entering, clutching, post-planting. And now telling off his enemies. Get off the Ella!
Get off the Ella. Stat farm game, he says. He's already feeling pretty good about himself, and I don't blame him. We saw already coming into it, he had, what, 137 EPS. At the moment, this game, I know it's only 2 rounds. He's 282 EPS. If he keeps that up, wow. I'd be very surprised. Yeah, he's got himself a clutch. He's got himself 5 kills on 100% costs, yet to die. He might not be the one planting, but he's the one breaching the walls. You don't even get credit for that on the scoreboard.
Jesus.
Can't underestimate its value.
Yeah, and that right there is why planting in Rainbow Six Siege can be so powerful. I mean, the post-plant possibilities, vertically with drones, yellow pings, red pings, etc. It's so hard to deal with. And let's say you rewind that around, right? You're in the 2 versus 1. If Dream Warriors, both the defenders, run up a staircase or fight him inside a kitchen, he can drop down the hatch. Now he has the bomb site. They gotta drop into his line of sight. That's not gonna go well. If they send nobody upstairs, he has the vertical advantage. That's not gonna go very well. If they do the one upstairs, one guy below, they can't help each other. Freelo gets a spawn peek right here, shutting down the IQ. Pretty valuable, right? You got those Valchem staying up alive, but 2-1 is alive still. Like, the round is, there's so much more to be done here, and Fisho is on the Monty. They have full information on the Roma Asami on Catwalk Rafters.
I mean, it's always nice to have a free pick, but I wouldn't put too much stake on it, especially when player here is ready to cut off. Fisho Guy is actually going to find the kill. That was 3 players working together with Bappin's fire from the Capital through the garage wall in combination with the Monty and with player ready to cut off if the retreat came through from Kaken. He stood no chance. Now it's going to be a bit more of a roam game. Wizard needs to decide how long is he going to stay before he falls back down to side.
You can kind of see Dream Warriors changing their pace. Right? Saying, oh guys, let's just fight them. Playing side doesn't work. Letting them execute isn't going to work. We have to take some fights somewhere, disrupt them. An impact grenade through the wall. Bappin watches it, takes him down clean as well. I don't even know sure if Fisher Guy realized what was going on there as the Monty. He's just running around. But his teammate had the angle covered. And Dream Warriors, now they gotta go for broke. They gotta keep going, because if you fall back to the bomb site now, 3 versus 4, up against the Monty, up against Capital. They still have hard destruction as well. Surely it will just fall apart. They need to go for one more pick, even those numbers down to a 3-on-3.
You can see 2 players on the blue stairs. If EP are aware that it's a double stack here, this is a very easy cutoff from down an oil pit. You can see the aggression, like you said. I mean, Raze is even looking for something. Nitro Cell could come in handy, but if he wastes it, then it's one less tool to deal with the Montaigne.
It's a tricky situation. The Enterprise gonna reset the round to slow it down.
Yeah, it's a smart move, isn't it? You just really slow the pace down completely and send your Monty in forward. It wouldn't take much for this to become a 3v3 and for the defenders to get an advantage. One of the Nitro Cells has gone out. Eraser is dry. It's all up to Freelo now with his last Nitro Cell. Try and take down that Monty. Oh no, but he runs straight into the line of fire of Tuhan. That was a huge mistake, and it may well cost Dream Warriors the round. Oh boy. Tuhan truly is having a stat farm game. 7-0. It's the reverse James Bond for Tui today as Fisho Guy forces that plant down, and Tuhan finds his 8th kill in 3 rounds. EP continuing their dominance.
That is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, before we started this game, we thought it's gonna be one-sided. I was thinking team diff. It's two-hand diff right now. You never stood a chance, he types in the in-game chat. He knows, Enterprise knows. They went the mental warfare. They're winning the rounds. They're clutching up. And they're solving all the problems right in front of their very eyes. Monty gets banned out. I get that. Too much value there for Official Guy, simplifying that round. Jesus.
He's only run it like the once, right? Did he win it in the first round? According to my stats, he didn't.
Nope, just
so
that round.
It's only the one time, and you're just still banning it for 3 more rounds. Far out. I mean, this is what we come to expect when it's the top team from stage 1 versus the bottom team, of course, from stage 1. But you know, we really had a little bit more hope come around this time for Dream Warriors. It's no Saga anymore, of course. They have 3 new players. I think Real is a big pickup just in terms of fragging capability. And yeah, Kaken as well, with his experience. So it's a shame to see how tough it's been for these guys in the last 3 rounds. I mean, they are on the defensive side. At least they got rid of the Monty, but they've also lost Mira.
Yeah. I think there's always going to be a different operator, right? Like, whether it's going to be the Blackbeard now, the Blitz, or the Fuse Shield, or just no shields at all. And the Monty isn't a huge problem. It's an issue, it's a issue, but it's not the issue. And Dream Warriors now, again, keep up their aggression, looking for spawn peaks, looking to shut down Enterprise ability to just execute, right? Take down any of these 5 attack and operators. And besides maybe the IQ, it's pretty good value. So going 1-for-1 right now could be the game plan. But if Enterprise can just, you know, make it towards the bomb set of Gym Bedroom, in that 5v5, in the 4v4, they're gonna be just happy about that because they know they can execute it to perfection.
Yeah, they do. Dream Warriors last round, you mentioned it, they got really aggressive. This time, it's not quite so much.
Oh.
Well, Real is going to get aggressive somewhere. Oh, he's going to die all the way
On the windows?
Player on the roof. Little thing I just noticed, by the way, Pengu, I'm not sure if you picked up on this, but we've got Realers on Dream Warriors and Relays on Enterprise. And if you just look at the 2 names, they are so similar visually.
Oh, they're very
duel
much
between
are.
the 2 of them. Relays, rather, he's going to find, oh, not just 1, but the double. It's absolute obliteration for Dream Warriors. Poor Wizard is going to have to pull out some magic to make this one work in a 1v5. Hello! Fisher, guys, there with the Blackbeard, and he steals the final kill. It's another flawless round for Enterprise.
Disaster. Absolute disaster. The situation that you're in right now, if you're Dream Warriors, is like, guys, what do we do? The bomb side doesn't really matter. Our operator lineup probably doesn't even matter either. We're getting outgunned, we're getting outskilled, we're getting out-strategized, and it feels like every time Enterprise they make a mini play, they always get a kill early in the round. Sometimes it's Dream Warriors swinging out aggressively, sometimes it's Enterprise pushing in aggressively themselves. But like, this is one of those games that if you're the IGL of Dream Warriors, I'm not sure you know what to say next, because nothing is working. I think it's a matter of individualism right now. If the individual players of Dream Warriors can make a few better decisions, hit a few better shots, a lot of these things can change. But look at this. Thermite is full sprinting. Valkyrie is pre-firing, and still the Thermite wins the gunfight. That shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, in the universe.
Yeah.
And Enterprise are also getting in their heads as well. I mean, Tuhan telling Reelers in the all chat to forfeit while the guy is down 0-4, hasn't got a kill yet. It's a hard day to be a Dream Warriors fan.
There's a good news for Reelers though. He's ACOG crouching now, a Rooney. So with the removal of the defender ACOGs, with the exception of DMRs, Rooney's pay grade has been skyrocketing across all the regions. And it's kind of like the old "you've been promoted to doc" meme, where like, you know, you get license to kill. Reelers has to literally get 2 kills this round to justify the Rooney pick.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of utility, you're not getting a ton of value out of it here, are you?
No. Not at all. It doesn't help the Raptor player, it doesn't help the side player. I mean, the gates can be nice, maybe on main breeze for a walk-in, but they're so easily burned.
So one on the condor from Cash, one on the Cash wall, and one on the main breach, just on the left side. Yeah, it's nothing revolutionary here. It's not going to have a big impact. I'll tell you what will have a big impact though. People from Dream Warriors continuing to die early. Relays goes on the hunt and takes down Warden. Tuhan on a rappel finds his 9th. Eraser shut down. Tuhan's about to hit double digits. We're not even halfway through. Honestly, maybe we are more than halfway through the game at this rate. It could well be a 7-round game. Tuhan yet to die. He hasn't even got an assist. If he sees someone, they're dead.
Love the PP from Fisher as well. He's playing that more supportively, almost like him, Monty, just staying alive, getting information. He knows his job right now is not to get kills. Tuhan will get those kills, as well as his rest of his team. So it's about directing the players. Hold this angle, go over here, breach this wall, and just again
don't do it! Don't do it!
He did it.
Oh!
Well
and he hits him with the well played as well. Oh, Reelers is having an absolute shock of a game, and he is silent in the old chat. Tuhan's hit double digits, goes for his 11th. Oh my God, Tui! He's done it again! EP continue flawlessly trouncing Dream Warriors.
3rd flawless round out of 5. Tuhan leading the way and ending most of those rounds as well. Fisho.
He got a 4K!
It's disgusting. It is absolutely, it's so over.
He's had 2 3Ks and a 4K. And then another round where he only got 1 kill. That's his 12 kills so far. That's how it happened. And so many of them are just cutting off angles and getting fed. This one is a nice swing, and this one is a 1v1 fight. But I mean, Freelo is Freelo there. I mean, just sprinting. Why are you sprinting?
I guess I do want to give some kudos there. He was sprinting away from a grenade from Fisher guy, the last grenade in the pocket of Blackbeard. So it's like, okay, he could have taken the gunfight, he could have, pre-fight, whatever. He knew that Tuhan was there. But it's not just Tuhan being better and Dream Warriors being bad. It's like everyone at Enterprise working together and individually being so much better. Like, that's why the difference is so big.
Yeah. Oh, well. Dream Warrior is going to bring out all the stops. We've got Capcam, we've got Tachanka, we've got Legion Traps. Relays is already calling it a troll team. 6-team league. Oh, dude, that is insulting. These guys beat Outlast. Have a little bit of respect. Meanwhile, Outlast, I don't know.
They're playing Bar, and they're playing almost a full red lineup, if you count Legion as and Castle as red. They're kind of more brownish in the color, but still. Where Cat, Tachanka, and Denari is much more red in the logo.
Yeah, I want to know where the Denari is, but I don't think we're going to get a chance to see them in this round.
I mean, that
is
real shield and
oh, there it is. Oh, by the way, it's Bar. I had a suspicion, but yeah, site is indeed Bar.
They got spare shield in pocket, spare bulletproof in pocket. I mean, this is going to be one of those rounds that they unavoidably might actually win because they're doing nothing of logic, nothing of reason, right? If you're a Fisher guy trying to problem solve this, guys, let's try and go for, oh no, wait, there's a guy running around. Let's try and breathe. No, they can't do that either. It's not super logical. They're trying to slow it down and play a logical game, expecting this aggression from Dream Warriors holding these passive angles. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's an angle though. Nice shot from player, opens up the site. There's another one on the objective and a bulletproof camera watching for it as well. With Freelo dead, he can sit on that cam and call for Wizard on site. Kaken above, I believe a Razor is deep in pool table as well. All the way in strip with angles into pool table. He's protected. It's actually not a half bad setup to Dream Warriors' credit. And with Bappin going down, things are getting a little bit dicey for EP. They need to really lock on down Wizard, who's hiding behind the bar. He's low HP. If the remaining EP players can focus up and take him down, there might be a shot here.
All about the gap, I think kitchen hallway. That's a big one. You can find 1 or 2 easy kills. They're going to go for a straight plant, actually, with the sense wall.
Is there any denial? Eraser is nowhere to be seen. The Shamikas are completely absent. Wizard's gone down. Tuhan is finally killed for the first time. It's up to Fisho Guy to clutch up. In a 1 versus 2, he's being watched from outside. Reelers gets a 3K. From the donut to the savior, Dream Warriors finally find themselves on the scoreboard.
It's such a classic. 5 clean rounds. Defenders can problem solve. Enterprise in full control. They go bar. They play the meme lineup. They don't take the game all that serious. And then they find a round W. Of course, they got the opening pick. That really helped them. And then secondly, Enterprise didn't have a huge, what should I say, priority, a huge focus on that kitchen hallway. They held it for a brief moment, went for the plant, and then kind of gave it up. And I mean, they're over swinging. They're taking all these aggressive fights because you're up 5-0. The game is so easy for you. I don't blame Enterprise for playing loose in that round. They are meeting Dream Warriors in the middle saying, you're going to play loose. We're going to play a bit more loose as well. It's 5-1, side swap, EP goes defense, and Dream Warriors are going to have to attack. Enterprise, they're going to do the same thing, right? When they were attacking, they simplified the first step of hop reaching by banning eat and bandit. Now that they're defending, they're going to make that first step more difficult for their opponent by banning both the ace and the thermite, forcing them on Maverick Hibana and secondary hop reach destruction instead.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a strange game, Pengu, when one team cannot find a single round and then the only one they win, they're playing troll operators on bar. I guess the real troll team is the friends we made along the way.
Ooh. I'm not sure if Fishka thought that door was closed or just didn't hear him, but his teammate just got killed from the hallway. I was a bit confused there.
Yeah, I mean, the brain lag there definitely could have been red. Happens to the best of us.
No,
Yeah.
it does. It absolutely does.
Look, Tui wins that, that's all I'm saying.
2-1 would have won that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
mean,
it's
there's
so ugly though.
also-
He's got a death and an assist now. Like it really ruins
Yeah,
the
it's
vibe.
ruined. 12. I mean, the thing is, maybe 2-1 made the call to go like push for OT here for a world record. You know, 27 kills in a BO1 and T1 play is the world record. Pasha almost beat that record yesterday in EML, dropping 24 kills. And they had, I think it was 3 kills off tying, and it was like an 8-6, I think. So he could have gotten there or matched it. That's the bomb site. Hello.
Yeah. And Wizard is now dead. There is another shield, and Tuhan has found 2 kills. They're now hungry for a little bit more. A player has dropped down oil, and Bappen's aware
my
of it.
God.
That's a free kill. It looks like Dream Warriors are speedrunning this one. Tuhan calls the early GG as Kakin's the last one left. He's just waiting for a peek. Spots a player. Tuhan
Okay.
finds his 15th kill of the game as Enterprise finally find match point.
When you're going for a bomb set rush and the blitz is the last operator left alive, something clearly went wrong.
Dude.
Yeah, it's a very small thing, right? Dream Warriors, they have Blackbeard pushing in the bomb site door a good 2-3 seconds ahead of the other teammates behind him, the blitz, and I'm not sure the other operator was actually. But again, just a bit of mistiming, bit of missync, and then your Blackbeard, you're just gonna right click on your mouse and you just die. There's not much you can do really. I will say this to Dream Warriors, thank you for not baiting on the roof for 3 full minutes every round and dragging it out and just actually playing the game. Because a lot of teams in this position, they will kind of not give up, but they will feel an inability to win the round. And often you'll just hold angles passively, bore out your opponent, hope that they make a misstep somewhere, you get some free kills, and then you execute with 10 seconds left. They're rushing the bomb site, they're playing fast on attack. On defense, they're spawn peeking, going fast for kills as well. They're not slowly losing this game. They're either fast winning or they're fast losing.
Deploying razor wire.
Yeah, I'd much rather watch a game where a team is doing something interesting and losing than a team that is doing something boring and losing. So credit to Dream Warriors. Yeah, particularly that defense, of course. Like, it's easy to say because it worked, but you know, you pick a highly risky bomb site, you pick a very cheesy operator lineup, it pays off, and you look like a genius. I mean, at the start, when Enterprise saw the bomb site, Enterprise saw the operators, they called them a troll, and then they ended up winning the round. So, guess you can't talk too much smack. Fisher guy's gonna find his own early kill. What, 20 seconds into the round was that? Okay.
Nice.
It was, and Amaru just gyro hooking straight into main stairs. That's the thing. You walk straight into
It's
a
the classic case of play Amaru and either play 5v4 or 4v5 off the rip. It's a ranked classic essentially.
Yeah.
Had it worked, it would have been genius though. It's one of those.
Well, happens in an awkward spot though. He's not playing a great operator to try and deal with this. However, outside the
Oh, no.
breach, no way. He's gonna find reelers. Very awkward fight for him with the UMP, and yet he still wins it. I mean, he's going up against a Skeleton Key and the C8 on Bach. There's no way that Vappen should be winning that. Eraser just slowly retakes that position, but it's a very uninspired attack again from Dream Warriors.
They also messed up the Hibana trick. They breached the very top side, but the wall isn't solved. Good intro from Wizard. Gets the first and the second.
Double.
There's some life in this round.
Yeah, there's no Nitro Cell down below. But the gas is nice. It's going to make it very difficult for him to find a safe haven, but he finds another kill. Wizard is single-handedly putting the team on his back. 2-on will find a 16th kill as the rest of the team needs to get back to site. 2-on is hard carrying this, but he's low after a spray from Eraser. Keep in mind, the Monty is still alive. There's no more gas remaining. Bappen's gone down. It's 2-on to clutch for the game. A 1v1 against Kaken on the Monty to find his 18th kill. He's so low on HP. A pepper of bullets from Kaken as the Monty decides, how does he play it? 2-on debate. He's 1 HP. He spots the Monty, who's got so much health still to his life. He definitely has the advantage here. There's no doubt about it. Kaken should win this, and he does. Dream Warriors keeping their head just above the water for another round.
It's one of the toughest operators to play against the Monty 1v1 without the gadget being available. You got SMG-11, 17 bullets, and a shotgun. The vibe there from 2-on was very simple, right? The first shotgun shell for the toes was supposed to get the Monty so low on health that when Monty goes to the 50-50 ADS swing, you can then aim for the head with the shotgun and win the round. But the toe shot, the first shell, didn't do all that much damage. You'll see it here in the replay in a moment here, and that's why 2-on lost. And playing SMG-11 against a shield is so hard because you just don't have that many bullets. If you whiff a few, if you shoot for the feet, for the shoulder, you just can't quite land enough bullets. You don't see the health bar actually, but that's what he was trying to do. I like what 2-on was going for. He was 1 point of health left in that 1-1, by the way. Unwinnable almost.
I mean, the only way that 2E wins that fight is by taking the SMG-11 and then winning the 50-50 gunfight against the Monty, which realistically is no longer a 50-50 because, like you said, he's got SMG-11 with a small mag against a Monty whose shield is covering everything except his face, and he himself is 1 HP, which means that Kaken only needed to land 1 bullet. So, look, credit to Kaken, he won that fair and square, but Dream Warriors, I mean, really, they have Wizard to thank for it. That was a big one. 3K on that entry. It really opened up the round. It's the kind of thing that you're not going to see it happen over and over again. Like, we're not even pondering the question of Dream Warriors pushing us to overtime. But at least the one thing we can say, let's not get ahead of ourselves until it's at least 6-4.
17-2 for 2-on. I want the OT for the record. I'm just saying.
It would not be that hard for him to get the record if this were overtime. It would actually be
He's on
easy,
record-breaking pace, James. He's going for it.
I would genuinely be surprised if he doesn't break the record of 27 kills. If this goes 15 rounds, and in the next, 7 rounds, he doesn't get 10 kills, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, it was all Wizard in that last one. Again, I think Dream Warriors, what they need is an opening and someone to create that space. And it's much easier said than done. But it did happen in the previous round. Jacuzzi Breach, 2 players. Wizard was spot on main, now on the roof instead. They're kind of alone now.
One thing I will say for Dream Warriors is at least players like Wizard, Kaken, and even to some degree Reelers, they've had their big rounds. They've got a few kills on the board. You know, none of them are on a breadstick anymore. None of them are on the donut. I think Freelo's had a bit of bad luck. But those 3 will have got their confidence back. And Reelers finding the kill on the 2-on no less will certainly add to that. He will get gassed out by Fisho, but I think Dream Warriors are going to call that a pretty even trade, 1-for-1. However, Eraser elsewhere also dies. So they need to fight on back. Wizard was hoping to be the man to do that. However, he's dueling 2. He trades himself 1-for-1, which means that EP are again ahead because of that early loss of Eraser. Now, Kaken trying to solo this entire side of the map up against an Ella with the Blitz. The guard break comes through twice as he tries to keep his head above the water, as he tries to stay alive. He needs to make his way forward. However, it's a 1 versus 2, and there's just about no way to make that work. Bappen comes up behind him, takes him on down. Enterprise finally nail the rest of that coffin down and put this Dream Warrior dream to a close. It's a dominant scoreline of 7-2. It very could have been a 7-0. Chopping up younglings, says Fisho Guy. For 2-on, it was an absolute massacre.
It was. That's a game where I'm not sure you're gonna have a debrief after losing, because what are you gonna talk about? It's kind of like GG, go next. Don't make the same mistakes and don't worry too much about this game. Enterprise are the top dog in the region. They showed that here today. And Dream Warriors gotta work on those fundamentals.
Oh, well, one game to go, but of course, next up we have Chiefs versus Man LFO. Stick around for more.
You know how they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey? You know how they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
Come here. Come here. Give. Spin. Up, 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 up.
What's going on, Dad?
Hey, what's up, dude? I'm not going to shake your hand. You're not going to like it.
Okay. Hey there, I brought some pies.
Thanks, Mingo. Thanks for the pie, Mingo. I love these. It's so Australian. How's your trip in Australia so far?
Yeah, it was long travel day, but always good memory in Australia. Weather is good, food is good, and sake is good for me as well.
Have you had one of these before?
Not really, I'm not a big fan of pies, so
Oh, well, it's your unlucky day.
I can try.
All right, so the way I like to eat a meat pie, you take the pie, and you take your sauce, yeah? And then you just, yeah, get it all over there. This is about to be a life-changing experience for you, Mingo. And then pro tip as well, when you think there's none left, It's the true Aussie way to eat a pie with sauce. Bon appetit.
Cheers.
Stage one, not bad for Enterprise. New team and already the champions. How was it?
Yeah, everything is new for me, like our players, our organization, everything is new, but it was really happy memory for me, like before with another OCs, everyone feeling like just friends and families, but it's feeling like coach and players because boys respect me every time, so it was happy for me.
Yeah, nice. I was really surprised by Player, who's obviously the newest
member on the roster, he was a sub. And I felt like in all the content that I saw, he was getting super vocal. He seemed like such a vocal part of that team, you know, commenting with Fisher Guy on all the strats and everything.
Yeah, player is really good player. He has really good vibe, good passion. We really love him. So on stage 2, he will really hard work for champion spot.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure about that.
As I was saying, we have to look at what's ahead of us now and not worry too much about
Wait,
the
did you
past.
see that?
What?
Wait, what is this doing here?
Whoa! What the hell is going on?
Guys, we need to go.
Jess, what are you doing here?
We need to go now.
Jess, Doc is gone. We have to go back.
There's no time. There's really no time.
Can't take this anymore. I'm tired.
He's our head coach. I have to go save him.
You're already dead. There's no escaping now.
Welcome back, everybody, to OCE League. Player number 3. It's time to dig into another match. Pengu, of course, these OCE days feel like they go so quickly. Not to mention we just had a 7-2 in our first game. But we only have 3 matches for you guys today. Next up, we do get to finally see the Chiefs. Pengu, there's a lot of hype behind this roster. They made these big roster changes, of course, with GG disbanding the brothers, the Sage brothers, Brendo and Sagen. Are now free agents. They're available. They got picked up by Chiefs, and this is essentially like the old Bliss roster, just without Fisher guy. What an iconic team. These guys, in theory, should have such a high potential.
Yeah, this is kind of giving, like, you know, Enterprise vibes where, like, they got the skill, but what they also have is they got a ton of experience among so many different players here, and I just love to see it. It's gonna be a battle of Enterprise and Chiefs fighting for that first spot, surely, at the end of the stage, and I haven't seen the Chiefs play this stage so far. They've had 2 play days, and they've had a hot and a not-so-hot game, right? A 7-3 against TSG, and an 8-7 barely beating Outlast in that final play, or the last play day rather. So I'm curious to see which version of Cheese we'll get today.
Yeah. And on top of that, you've also got 2 of the best fraggers of the current generation in OCE and Jigsaw and Brendo on the same team. You've got Sage and Oda, who are really, like, you know, the brains behind the operation and the mature, kind of the older guard. And Quiz is a great star player as well. He's really come into form this year. Of course, their opponents are on quite a different level. Man LFO. Now, if you've been watching OCE for a while, you were like, hang on a second, I remember this team name. Weren't they around ages ago? Yeah, they were. It's a bit of a funny situation that's happened during the off-season between Stage 1 and 2, Pengu. Some teams have changed names. This is technically the continuation of the Circular Spheres roster. Hunter and Scars continuing to be on that team. But most of the Circular Spheres players went and joined Outlast. Now this kind of looks a little bit more like the old Man LFO roster that was the second best team behind Bliss about a year ago, before the Chiefs was created. So what do we have to say about this team? Well, I mean, we've got players like Scars and Hunter. Scars is a great fragger. Hunter is a great all-rounder, great IGL, great shield player, one of the best shield players in the region. And then you've got a lot of kind of young gunners, Sharky, Pluto, Beers, who haven't had quite as much of a showing. I've heard plenty of good things about Beers, though, and it's not just because I'm an Aussie.
I was gonna ask you for a pronunciation check on Beers, because, like, is that actually how you say his name?
Beers!
It's Beers! I love that. I mean, they also got good stats to back it up. So the story of them being good players is also being, you know, showcased in the stat line. But then you go up against Chiefs, then it's like, if they can put up that kind of performance against Chiefs, it's going to be a good series, a good match. But realistically, can Man LFO have a chance to win here? That's my big question.
Well, of course, we've seen Man LFO play 2 games so far. They lost 7-3 to EP in their first match, and then they beat Dream Warriors 7-4. Today, we'll be heading down to Consulate. Now, this is actually where we already saw Man LFO play against EP, and they lost at 7-3. I sure hope that they're a little bit more ready for this game against Chiefs.
One big concern here is that Man LFO, they banned Bank as the last ban. That means that the map will become Consulate, and Chiefs, their opponent, will choose the starting side. I'm not worried about the map of Consulate in its simplicity. I'm worried about the fact that Chiefs will play defense first on Consulate, which very often goes 4-2, sometimes against worse attacking teams, 5-1 scoreline, and then Man LFO will have to make a comeback once the side swap comes through, and that is going to be a very big obstacle for them.
It's a little bit of a surprise to me that we didn't see Man LFO decide to take us to Bank, because that's where we saw Chiefs play in the last play day, and they really struggled. Chiefs almost lost, and in fact, our producer was saying they probably should have lost to Outlast. And 8-7 is by far not the convincing win we would expect from a team with the pedigree that Chiefs have on board. So, yeah, curious decision from Man LFO. We won't be playing Bank. We'll go to Consulate, and this is really Chiefs' bounce-back game, because while they did win against Outlast, they did drop a point, of course, by getting an overtime when you only get the 2 points instead of the 3, and that's why they're nestled behind Enterprise in second place. Of course, top 2 means that you get an advantage, a bracket advantage going into playoffs. You skip a BO3, so that's highly coveted. Chiefs failed to achieve that last stage, as did Ludvika, by the way, who were the eventual grand finalists. Ludvika almost didn't even make it. But definitely, we kind of see it in this region as a little bit of a 3-horse race, don't we, Pengu? In terms of Enterprise, Chiefs, and Ludvika, the ones that we're watching, only two
Yeah.
of those three can make it into the top 2 spots and get the buy-in playoffs.
Yeah, it's and also like Ludvika's only played one game so far, if I recall correctly, and it was a loss. You know, they had a slow start, so to speak. But they
It was
also
against
played
Enterprise, like,
exactly.
yeah.
So like, but it was a 2-7 loss where you're thinking, okay, against the top teams, Ludvika should go like 5-7 loss, maybe 4-7 loss, etc. But I am curious to see what's gonna happen because we haven't seen that many games being played just yet. And when you've had some rosters having roster changes, like the Chiefs roster, for example, you're gonna have in the back of your head, okay, right now they're this good, but how good will they become getting a little bit more practice time?
That's exactly right. I mean, that's, I think, the big narrative for the Chiefs here. The sky is the limit in terms of the potential of bringing the Sage brothers on to what was already a really good lineup. I mean, Chiefs, in their previous iteration, even ousted the old GG roster to take the spot at the Montreal Major just over a year ago, or just under a year ago. Then they ended up being the best team in the region right up until Enterprise came along at the start of this year. Chiefs fumbled in stage 1, and now they've gotten rid of Tex, and they've brought on the brothers. Probably the greatest family in Siege in OCE. The pedigree and the history that we've seen from Sajon and Brendo. I mean, we really can't understand it. I know we harp on about it a lot, but I mean, these guys are pretty damn good. And Sage finally getting back behind the mouse instead of being more of a coaching position is also a very welcome sight for me. Let's dig into it on Consulate.
You know, you saved that whole speech when you said Inos, because the greatest family in Siege. I was like, Inos. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Nate, yeah, no, I get you.
Oh, it's good. The thing is, seeing families or brothers or even people that are like cousins, for example, play, not only do they both play esports, but they play in the same game at the highest level is such a crazy concept to me. And it's something that somehow in Siege we've actually seen a fair bit of. In the NAL, we've had, I think, a cousin or cousins playing in the same NAL region. Of course, in Brazil, we have brothers playing. We have here as well in O's as well.
I do love that. Yeah, of course. I wouldn't discredit Handy and Nay, the GOAT brothers of Brazil, but they do play for, pardon me, different teams. Which I guess is the different thing, you know, here in
Is that cooler though? Is it cooler to be against each other on the same team? That's my question.
Okay,
because
dude,
when you're together,
literally
you're biased.
Literally nothing is cooler than having two players who are brothers, twin brothers at that, on separate teams in the grand final, right? A best of 5 in Brazil. Like, yeah, nothing is going to beat that 2024 storyline, of course. But having, you know, Sage and Brendo on the same team, you know, seeing them at events, like seeing Sage be that big brother. Also, by the way, like, he really is a big brother. That dude is tall. I think Brendo and Sage, between them, they could probably take, you know, most of the rest of the esports scene just on pure height alone. Certainly if we were playing basketball. They're not half bad at Siege as well.
Oh, that's crazy. But no, you're right. I've met Sage a few times at this point. I guess Brenda as well, but mostly Sage interactions. And dude is tall. It's true. You gotta look all the way up, especially me. I'm 6 foot flat, right? 183. But even for me, he's a tall guy. Yes, my passport says it, James.
Damn, you have your height in your passport.
No, everyone says when they meet me the first time, "Oh, I thought you'd be shorter." And I'm like, "Do I have like short guy energy? Like what?"
Nah, you don't.
I'm 6 foot.
I just think everyone is short.
Yeah,
except for Sage.
Well.
Sage makes me feel short. I'm 6'4" and he makes me feel tiny. He's got to be like
taller than you, isn't he? Yeah.
He's way taller than me. Dude, he makes me
let me do some conversions. 6'8" in centimeters. 6'8". Oh, that's 190.
2 meters, is it?
190. It says. Oh wait,
For
wait,
what,
no, wait, no, I trolled. No, I trolled.
I believe 6'2" is 190.
No, I trolled that really hard. It's 2 meters and 3 centimeters.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
That makes more sense. This isn't right. My brother
Wow,
is that height, by the way.
Really? Oh, I hope.
Yeah, my brother is a mountain as well. Like he has to duck under doorways in half the old apartments in Denmark.
Wait, he's over 2 meters tall.
Yeah. He's like 2
that
something.
Is amazing.
Like, maybe 201 or 2 point something, but it's like just about 2 meters.
Wow, he's
His
your
dad
little
is
brother
like,
too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's by 5 years, but he's been taller than me since he was like 15.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's awesome. I love that. I hope I get to meet him one day. But for now, let's meet Man LFO and Cheeks. Of course, the game has started. We took a minute to get, I think Jigsaw was struggling to get to the lobby we're in. I am astounded, thank you, at how many clean names we have in the server right now. I mean, Sharky, Beers, Scars, Pluto, and Jigsaw. No dots, no dashes, no team tags. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Like video games in general, like people want clean name tags and they will do anything they can to try and get them, you know? And now like the days when a new game comes out, one of the first things people do, they rush that game to try and reserve their own nickname so they can have their clean tag. Like I got Pingu back in the day, I could never get that now in a new modern game that will come out. It's always taken beforehand.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Reloading.
Well, like you mentioned, Chiefs got to pick the starting side. They're on defense. That means we have to sit here and watch Man LFO drone and check and recheck and triple check and figure out where they're going to push. Hunter's running shoddy, by the way, on the sledge. That's a welcome addition. Love to see that. Repels are coming through. Ooh, a bit of a spray down. Jigsaw's in an awkward spot. Oh, he's going to get out alive somehow.
Somehow, some way. Two guys in repels holding the cross, maybe caught in the reload timing. But yeah, the shotgun being played on sledge is now more passive because of the Reaper, the secondary SMG from Aura, has made its way to different operators like the Ying, like the Sledge, Pulse, and the Rook. And first step now is actually done for Man LFO. They got into admin, and getting inside the building alone can be quite difficult. But the issue is, it stays difficult for a while longer. They gotta deal with the soda position, top of your screen. They got Warden to deal with in case you want to use anything. They actually have no flash or smokes at all in this lineup, so they only have nades. In fact, they have 8 frag grenades in this round. Very explosive.
Oh, Beers. He might be onto something here, but no. Quiz shuts him on down. Valiant effort from the top of Spiral stairs, but that's pressure the Chiefs will no longer be feeling, and it allows Quiz a hell of a lot more flexibility. Jigsaw as well. Feet holes. As he protects his teammate, Pluto gets a little bit aggressive, and it doesn't work out. It's actually not working out at all for Man LFO. Every single player falling one by one. Hunter's down. Beers and Pluto are fallen to Sharky and Scars. I think Quiz has got a read as well on the last player. The Sharky's gone down. Scars is going to try and pad stats. Sage will fall. Oda as well. Low HP for Scars, but same can be said for a lot of these Chiefs players. There's no need to feed. Chill out and wait for Scars to eventually fall or die to the timer.
15 seconds. A double, maybe triple crossfire on this doorway here. Once he enters, he will surely be taken down.
Oh my god, don't feed. Don't feed. I mean, he knows that one of them's playing here at the soda machine. Might be able to swing on the Jigsaw. No, doesn't happen. You don't simply take down Jigsaw. No. And the Tasmanian does lock in the first round for the Chiefs.
Consulate and Skyscraper, they share this similar trait on defense, which is it's very hard to get in the building. It's also very hard to cut off most of the major rotations to the map because the middle of the building doesn't really exist, or it doesn't give you a whole lot of value. For example, the middle of the building of top floor on this map of Consulate is meeting balcony and top spiral. But that doesn't watch the meeting door, it doesn't watch the admin hallway, it doesn't watch the yellow stairs or CEO angle, so you can safely go all the way from one end of the building to the other without ever seeing top spiral or meeting balcony as a defender. One reason why I'm saying this is because when you're taking that admin clear, there's 2 things you kind of need to do to make the round successful from like a strategical perspective. Either you gotta be relatively quick because you need time to work with as you're in the building, or you gotta get an advantage. The fact that Jigsaw could play inside of the room that we call Coffin upstairs, next to Visa stairs, and somehow sprint away against 5 different attackers right next to him is criminal. If they get that kill, I mean, Jigsaw doesn't get the following kill afterwards. They get the 5 versus 4, and they have a lot of time to work with. Because he needs to sprint away, they spend a lot of time, grenades, and they don't get an advantage. That means they get admin control, spending so much time and resources, and that's really all. They gain 1 singular room in control. So we gotta see Man LFO build early leads, but be quicker to the punch.
Well, speaking of quick, 20 seconds into the round and already Ram is getting to work upstairs. Jigsaw making his presence known. Shooting drones and falling back. A flashbang follows, so it's just vert game enabled. Chiefs are have a little bit of a roam on the ground floor, but Jigsaw is alluding to the fact that Chiefs are going for a very loose roam here. Is the Jackal pick here worth it? I know you're a bit of a Jackal hater, but how else are you going to deal with the Vigil?
I am the biggest Jackal hater in the world. So just for a small thing, because like not much action is happening right now. Jackal got reworked with Siege X, and essentially now, when you scan a footstep, you will get one single red ping. Doesn't matter how recent or not recent the footsteps are, you get this one red ping, that's it. And now the footsteps are disappeared. So he scanned the Vigil top floor, and they see that he's in lobby. But now, they gotta go all the way to lobby to find the second set of footsteps to figure out where he is now. There's no continuous tracking of the Vigil, which in my mind makes the Jackal pick extremely useless and probably one of the lowest value operators in Tier 1 pro play. And with this, I mean, they're also not chasing the Vigil because, again, they don't know where he is. They just know he's on top floor. So, tough operator to play, hard to get value out of. And we see the timer, 125, and Chief says, guys, let's fall back. We've burned enough time. Let Jigsaw play the solo roam as the Vigil and see if he can just get one kill.
Oh, he is not. He was just hiding in Visa, trying to delay time, but Scars finds him. As a result, I mean, that's not half bad here for Man. Jigsaw's dealt with. There's no big deal that he's left down. It can get to work on the vertical play. I don't think the breach is open outside, is it? I mean, we've got Tooting Can open is still pocket for Sharky. I'm not sure if he intends to go and use that, or is this going to be a rear push or a vertical push? Feels like without the breach open, there are too many safe places for Chiefs to hold.
Yeah, I mean, the Vert could do a lot of damage, but one Rampage could almost spin top floor, so then there are two for both lobby and piano. So again, limited Vert as well with that. Bok is doing the work right now, but Timer's taken down, and Bok is flank watching. It's gonna be a split take. Spiral stairs, Visa hallway, yellow door, 3, 2, 1, execute together. Gotta go for kills.
And the gas is gonna lock Man LFO out of it. Sage over aggression. He dies early on. Maybe Man LFO can just overwhelm the site. Quiz is overwhelmed himself. It's flawless for Man LFO. Out of nowhere, they erupt onto the site. No plan needed. They find every single kill.
It's very well done. Great rotations there. And right when the killing started happening, Capitao actually rotated to the breach with a can opener, opened the wall, smoked, fired, and walked in and started getting down a diffuser. So I had two different win conditions. One, get all the kills, or just get the first two, then the plant will start going down. Really good round there. Good problem solving by Man LFO. And of course, finding Vigil earlier, which Jackal unironically did help with as a second Jackal tracker went through. Got the job done.
That was a weird round. One I had as well, and Sage, and I think he's one of the best players we've seen out of OCE in terms of his career, what he's achieved, and a lot of his individual performances. 2 rounds in a row, he's just thrown his life away in a situation he probably didn't need to. In the first round, I mean, it was what, like a 5v1, doesn't really matter, but in that round, I mean, that was a weird situation. It was a 4v5. Didn't think he needed to lash out like that. Chiefs looked a little bit lost, and funnily enough, you know, we talked about how they didn't breach the main wall. No one from Chiefs was in a position to take advantage of that. There was no one playing deep near the cars. Yeah. So I don't know what was going on there for Chiefs, but Man LFO got a round on the board, and it's a pretty convincing one.
Might have been a case of that Chiefs were expecting a full backside tip because that logically would have made the most sense, but then the very last few seconds in the round, they popped the hatch, they popped the wall, and they actually attacked just everywhere, period. But you're right, it comes down to Chiefs actually giving up a lot of map control for free, not playing bottom spiral, not playing backside, you know, dying in Visa with Jigsaw. When you're stuck in corners on the bomb side, you're either guessing where they're going to be attacking from, or you have information on where they're attacking from. And they have no information in any of these rounds. They're not playing the likes of Valkyrie, Echo, Maestro, or even any bulletproof cameras this round, despite the fact they have multiple they could have picked up if they wanted to. So it's very much as Chiefs playing the vibe check right now. They're playing bodies on the ground, but they only have information around those bodies. So when they fall back, like look, no one's playing Soda Machine. They have no idea it's getting droned. They have no idea that Man LFO is walking through absolutely free right now if they wanted to, because again, they lack information.
It's a little bit scary. Banshee does leave a telltale sign that Man are marching forward, but Quiz is clearly not ready for beers. Jigsaw sprays through the wall, gets a trade. It's much needed, but Scars will trade him back. Sajin's found one, but he's taken down as well. Man LFO dominating on the top floor. Brendo, he finds one kill. Now he's going to deal with the Monty, but Sharky ADS's him, takes the fight and wins it. Oda has his own C4. He's going to have to make it count. The 1v2. The Monty is the threat. Scars is on 5 kills as the tracks come out. Oda takes the risk. He is spotted. Standing in the tracks again, waiting for Scars to come on forward. A little bit more damage taken, but both of the attackers have actually dropped downstairs. They're watching for his angle. Is he going to be aware of it? He doesn't have the angle to kill the Monty, and Scars finds a 6th kill. Man LFO have taken the lead, and Chiefs need to take a deep breath.
They do. Reset on fundamentals right now because there's a glaring issue in that round, in my mind at least. They got the deployable shield put on Soda Machine. No one is playing there. No one's hearing the audio and admin. No one's shooting the entry drone, etc. They're pretty much starting top floor on the end position. In my mind, you start Soda Machine, you start admin, shoot a drone, fall back, shoot a drone, fall back. You know, play the map essentially. Then at the very end of CEO top floor, they have the mirror windows. By the time we see the mirror window, it is a 2 versus 4. And then it just kind of goes sideways very quickly. They trade 1 for 1. When you're 2 versus 4, trading 1 for 1 really isn't worth it. The C forward from Mira, Sharky, great Monty response, goes with the ADS, gets a complete freebie. There's a lack of team coordination right now from Chiefs. Jigsaw's playing solo meeting. Then a person playing solo top spiral. Mira stock solo CEO. There's no real trade game and saying, guys, I got your back, you know, I'll play with you. It's individual heroics. And Man LFO, to my surprise actually, playing really well together as a team. The drone, the following, using the Monty effectively. Really, really great roam clear.
And they're going to switch things up again. A couple of repicks coming on through. We'll get to that in a minute, but for Chiefs, I mean, it's not been a good start, to say the least. And
no.
Again, going to this top floor, they haven't proven that this bomb site is on lock. I mean, well, yeah, they might have won this bomb site once, but when it comes to defending this part of the map, that top floor around meeting, I mean, they've struggled in a lot of these other rounds when it's part of the extension they hold, and then that last round's a great example of that. Man LFO are cooking here as well. Hunter on that Maru. Got Sharky back on the Blackbeard. He seems confident on this operator. A late round CEO plant's enabled because that Vulcan fire has now been taken out.
Yeah, exactly. It's very smart. Do the last step first so that you can always just go back to that window whenever you want to. Also, I think Shark is playing extended barrel on the Blackbeard primary, which is absolutely confusing to me, but I love to see it.
Does it still pack a punch, that gun? It used to pack a punch.
Yeah, so they nerfed the bullet count with the recent Blackbeard nerfs, right? It has 21 bullets instead of 25/6, so
it still does 40 something damage though, so with the extended barrel, maybe it'll be close to a 2-hit kill a lot of the time.
Yeah, but then you gotta hit your shots too, right? And if you're a shield player, we all know they got terrible aim. Is Shark a shield player though? I actually don't know for sure, but he played a great Monty.
Yeah, I mean, he looked alright last round on the shield.
It's a bit of a quiet round. I like this though, right? They clear, as you said earlier, the Goyo fire on CEO. Now they're going admin, they're applying pressure. And of course, we saw Chiefs over-rotate towards yellow CEO because of that pressure. They've given up admin, despite having bandit batteries and triple reinforced the wall in break room. They're completely surrendering that map space. And if they want to...
Oh no!
You gotta win those spears!
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge kill for Quiz. Another big one for Quiz. This is what we come to expect out of this guy. Every now and then he'll have a nuclear round. Trade comes through. Hunter for the backstab, and no one's aware of it. Otis fallen. Scars finds his pick as well. Suddenly, the advantage is to Man LFO. A triple kill for Scars.
Barbed wire.
Brendo.
It's gonna make sound.
Likely gonna make noise as he moves through this barbed wire. He needs to time it well. Diffuser picked on up. Brendo straight up the stairs. Scars has to force a plant while Hunter covers. Brendo's got a diffuser, or rather got a C4 in his pocket as well. Diffuser not going to be planted. Scars finds a 4K on the rounds. And man, are dominating Chiefs.
Again, it's really good. A clear plan from the very beginning. What I love about that start round, clearing the go canisters and going admin, is that they could have done this round so differently. They could have gone full admin if they had killed Quiz, top spiral without losing 2 bodies. They could have got armor in CEO window like they did for a backstab, or they could have gotten 2 guys CEO window, armor starts planting, and a second guy on the rappel can cover the planter. They have so many different options in that round, and I love when teams they can play that dynamically. Man LFO bring in enough tools, enough flexibility to say, guys, if this happens, we do strat A. If this happens, we do strat B. And I think they even had a C in their pocket for that one. Again, it's really good to teach Man LFO for the majority of that round, and Chiefs individually, again, taking gunfights. Quiz finds 2 kills, he swings the 3rd. You don't need to swing the 3rd. You can literally fall back in towards CEO, give up top spiral, play 5 versus 3. You can ask a team to come next to you and hold one door while you hold the other, then you're playing 2 versus 1. They have all these options available, but they're not using them.
This is where Chiefs need to reel it in a little bit. They need to defer to their leadership. They need whoever is the leadership figure on this team. Of course, back in the Bliss days, it was Fish who was the strategic leader for that roster. Whoever it is right now needs to just say, all right, guys, like, you know, this is no big deal to us. We're familiar at playing at big events. Every single one of these players has played at numerous big events. We just need to chill the hell out. It's no big deal. Don't worry about, you know, we get caught by an off position here. You know, Scars finds a 4K. Dude's 10-1, by the way. Just need to chill out.
Oh, he's 10-1.
Figure out the best way to lock down. I know, right? Like, dude, he's putting to shame. Who was it last game on Enterprise?
Tuhan popping off?
Tuhan. Yeah, putting Tuhan to shame.
Oh, the timing.
Uh-oh. 11 kills. The Scars. Jigsaw taken out without a lot of impact.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on here for Chiefs, but these little one plays, these little solo moments, it's not working for them. It's not good enough, and for Quiz and Jigsaw, 2 of the top fraggers, to go down without anything to show for it puts pressure on the rest of Chiefs to now take risks that really you shouldn't be taking.
Yeah, strategically this round is over. You cannot play base and bomb side 3 versus 5. They got the block for Ver, they got the Lion Blitz for execute, they got Jagger for the roam clear. Like, they got all these different options once more. If you sit back and wait, they're gonna execute. You can't do much about it. You gotta go for a flank, gotta go for a kill, but a missed opportunity for Sage does damage to Clears' block, but doesn't get the kill.
Yeah, I mean, that needed to be a kill there. If it had been, that denies a lot of the vertical, it keeps Oda safer. It also just brings things back to a 3v4, which is much more winnable. Flashbang comes through. Sage does finally get that kill with his Nitro Cell. Not a moment too soon. Lion roars and Sage is finally taken down, struggling to have the impact that's required in the 3 versus 5. Scars is still alive on his 12 kills. And Brendo can't find the shots through the floor. He's now being contested from multiple angles. It's Oda up against the world. He'll take down the top fragger and the second one. Immediately, the captain puts us into a 1v2 and he spots the blitz as well. Oh, bit of damage onto Pluto. If he makes this a 1v1 against the blitz, it might just be possible. The smoke makes it awkward. He goes for a spray. A 1v1 now. And the diffuser's still not planted. The smoke comes through. But Oda's got to worry about the blitz charging straight up towards him. The flash comes through. Can he dodge until he gets unblinded again? He can. And now Sharky has to wait for that flash to recharge. Oda has to keep his distance here. Has to land the shots here onto either the head, should Sharky ADS, or onto the feet, should he not. It's a game of cat and mouse as Oda continues to try and run away. Time is on his side. Sharky has to close the distance. He's going to have to get aggressive. He's going to try and plant. The round is done. It's a 1v4 for Oda. The captain puts the team on his back.
The spacing in the 1v1, purely winning off positional advantage. Oda's experience and staying cool, calm, and collected is what gets them that round victory. Of course, start off in the 1v4, landing headshot after headshot, and the team was assisting him with the yellow ping information from the Valkyrie camera as well. It started off looking so scary though. Again, Chiefs, the roam game, not working, sight not being held correctly. And if Pluto stuck the plant in the 1v1 when Jacko got killed, I think that round plays out entirely differently. But this gives Chiefs some breathing room now. That round clutch with the tactical timeout gives them a morale boost We can talk about the strats, the rounds to come. They need this third defensive round victory that's coming up, the final round in the first half. If they go down 2-4 starting on a much favorable side, it's just like mathematically the game is over. They need this win.
If you had a moment to see the kill differential there on the two teams, I mean, on the Man LFO side, you got Scars on 12 kills, the bottom fragger on 1 kill. On the Chiefs side, every single player has 3 kills. It's very evenly spread.
Being defused by attackers.
I mean, hopefully a moment like that will be the turning point for Chiefs.
I'd rather have the even spread, right? Because, like, it's a classic case where, like, one guy's popping off. Hey, guys, kill Scars to win the round. It's 1v5.
Yeah.
But when we look at the spread of Chiefs, the only reason why I don't like it is because everyone is getting those numbers individually. Oda has 3 kills. He got all 3 kills last round in the clutch. Jigsaw has 3 kills, 2 of those in the very first round, solo playing admin and swinging top spiral. So it's like they're individually popping off individual rounds. And the thing is the same for Man LFO. Scars has 12 kills, but he's popping off every single round individually, not just taking turns. So it's the same story on both sides of, again, individual players. But Man LFO has been the better team so far, I would say.
Oh, well, there's time for that to change. But as you mentioned just before the game started, Pengu, this is a defensive map. So Chiefs should be in the favor here. If they can tie it up to 3 rounds apiece, I think that that's kind of job done for them. I think that that's really set the pace for what could be a Chiefs win. They already went to overtime yesterday. Wow, good read from Scars there on that explosive and aggressive early C4. It's the thing that's missing for me from Chiefs is they don't seem to have a read on their opponent. That's the thing that Fisher Guy is very well known for. And the thing that this team is missing compared to that old Bliss, can they do it just with the raw talent of these 5 players?
That's a good question. This is looking better to my eye check though. Jigsaw playing admin, gonna kill a drone, fall back 1 room. Chris is there for backup, center break, and copy as well. We saw Jigsaw have decent success here in the very first round. Mixture of him being allowed to run away. Again, they're on the copy repel, they're on the hallway repel, they're not contesting it. Man LFO being a little bit scared of dying early. They want to play for execute. They'll say, you know what? We'll take the free space. Jigsaw runs back. We got the 5v5. In the lineup, Blackbeard for entry. Armor again, up a hatch, into a window, can make a play somewhere. But they're missing, in my mind right now, the chaos factor. They don't have any kind of big disruption operators. So when they go for an execute, they can't make themselves strong in a gunfight. You know, a Dokebi call, a lion charge, a Ying is banned. There's no Grim Beast or the red spotting. That would have been so good here. And I don't think they can plant CEO window because there's 3 toxic babes and a C4 in pocket, but they're rotating towards it. Take piano downstairs, do some self-destruction, jump in the window, but there's only 60 seconds left. If one thing goes wrong right now, that could be the round over for Man LFO's attack.
And Man LFO, historically so far, have really relied on that opening pick. Had it 3 out of the 5 rounds so far.
On the roof.
And it seems like that was a bait. Yeah, that was successful.
Waited.
Yeah.
Worked.
Well
wow.
played. I think it did bait out a C4 if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it
no
completely
more
did.
C4s left. Gas, still 2 left for Oda.
Yeah.
1 goes
Smoke,
through.
jump out. Oh no.
This is really well played here from Sharky, but elsewhere, Man LFO are getting bloodied. Chiefs are holding on. Pluto down below, but he's feeling a lot of pressure from the vertical game. He's not going to be able to focus up on Oda, who's the main player that's going to be denying this execute. Sharky's actually repositioned. He's no longer going for the default plant. He's moved around, and Beers has found his pick. No more Oda to speak of. It's going to be a 10-second execute. 3v3. In for the repel is Beers. Jigsaw and Brendo have to step up now. They both do. It's all up to Sharky. Down to a 1v1, but there's no time to find Brendo. And so Chiefs will find their 3-3 half.
Just barely they get it. It's back-to-back clutches, I would argue. In that final round, again, very small things are getting Chiefs that W at the end of the day. Really well played again from Oda. Just being super calm, holding the toxic bay for as long as possible before throwing it out. If he does what a lot of smoke players will do, and just throw this around that they don't have a lot of value, they could have forced a plan from Man LFO. They had block downstairs, armor on the window, and a person on window repel. They had every single thing covered, and remember, they baited out the only C4 by going on the roof with armor right before that happened. So if Oda doesn't play the smoke perfectly, I think the round is over. So 2 rounds now in a row, Oda puts his team on the back and just says, guys, we'll get us an even half 3-3, but now I need everyone else to step up for the attack in half because I cannot entry, drone, breach, plant, and do everything myself on the attack.
Yeah, I think this is really where we get to see Chiefs tested on how coordinated they can be because
Yes.
Man LFO looked really coordinated, especially that last round. I mean, they had a really clear idea of how to play the bait game. Chiefs, the rounds that they've won have been mostly on the back of clutches and hero plays. We haven't seen a lot of good coordination from Chiefs, is what I'm saying. And that really gets tested on the attack far more than on the defense.
Well, things can of course change, but a Aura being picked off there from Quiz already makes me very excited if it gets stuck. Love seeing some creative use of semi-new operators still. Top floor though, they got the pulse downstairs, an operator that we don't see getting played all that often, but maybe a small buff here, receiving this new weapon, the Reaper, as a secondary, enables a pulse, you know, shotgun to be played. Not the case for Scars here, but you can if you want to. UMP on Castle lost the ACOG, pulse never had it, so that hasn't changed pulse at all. So he's gotten stronger, without getting weaker.
I feel like Pulse, one of the OG maps for him, was console.
Yeah.
That didn't change when the rework came through.
You got all the vertical destruction, you know, very plant-oriented map. Also, relatively small in size, I would argue, in a way. Like, you can play in lobby and see, like, meeting towards CEO, towards meeting breach.
There's a lot of claustrophobia as well on this map. A lot of hallways where you can really predict where people are going to be playing for those C4s. Get a lot of bang for your buck out of that pulse scanner. Scars looked like he was going for a little bit of an aggressive peek outside of lobby, but he's going to fall back for now. Where's the push going to be from Chiefs? I assume maybe a little bit of verticality. Players going down below. Players like Brendo.
Yeah, so far he is down there. But there's no real vision for me yet. I mean, there's Scrim on CEO rappel, so it could be him on the rappel, Buck downstairs, a red pink spotting for the Buck to do damage, and then attack yellow stairs. A full frontside take here.
Oh, that's not a good start though for Oda. He just peeks and immediately falls. There's an awkward crossfire as Beers goes down. That's a good trade. Jigsaw low on HP and doesn't have any adrenal surges available as of yet. Pluto goes for a big shot from spiral stairs through the soft wall, external to the yellow stairs, finds a double, and that really changes the situation a lot.
Now I gotta go fishing in a 4v2. Now Pulse comes into play, right? The scanner can be used, the C4 as well. Right now he's bottom spiral, just holding a flank for that. Sharky has 2 toxic babes, holding on to those for a plant deny. They are forcing Chiefs into an uncomfortable spot of walking into this crossfire doorway. Because again, they're not swinging anything. They want the enemy to go into a bad gunfight and take them down 2v1.
This is the perfect way to play it here for Man. Oh, the bait comes through. Sage actually finds a double out of it. A 1v2 is very winnable for Jigsaw, if anyone, but he misses some crucial shots. He doesn't realize that actually both of the players was exactly where he was aiming at before. Sage has really helped him out with that big 2k. No more adrenal surge, no more nades, and no more life for Jigsaw. Sharky puts him down. A great game so far from Sharky. Shields on attack, and as he says on the defense, sit down Jigsaw. Pluto calling out Jigsaw for baiting as Man LFO again take the lead.
It's one of those things where if Oda on Sled Shotgun doesn't fall early and they get like the small connector control and they keep top yellow, maybe a plant goes down, then the one thing we never saw from Man LFO is on the attack there are different win conditions, right? On this round the same thing. Smoke playing meeting balcony, can smoke the CEO window. They also had Pulse downstairs, who we never really saw into the action really. Still have the C4, still have the gadget. So even if Chiefs got in more safely, I think the round just has different ways to play out, favoring Man LFO. Speaking of Pluto, by the way, James, what's the status on that? I feel like when I was in elementary school, Pluto became a planet, and then like it got removed as a planet. Like, what's the vibe there? Is it not a planet
promoted,
anymore?
got demoted. It's a dwarf planet, I believe.
It's a dwarf planet, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't count
Fair
as a
game.
planet anymore.
Who decides that, by the way? Do we vote on that? Does somebody just say, yeah, this is the case now?
I didn't vote for him.
Exactly. I think Pluto should be a planet.
I didn't vote for no dwarf planet.
It's either or. Either you're a planet or you're not a planet.
Yeah. That's a great question, Nick. I don't know. I have to pull some strings. Maybe someone at Ubisoft knows.
It was such a big talking point when I was like 7 years old. You know, people would go, "Did you know Pluto's a planet?" And then people would go like, "No, it's not." And people go, "No, actually it is. I'm smart." Oh boy. Hold up. Double capcan.
Yeah, interesting way for things to pan out there. If you're a Chiefs player, poor Oda going straight on in. Not had a lot of luck today. He's had one clutch, and that's just about all he's done on the server. Brendo goes down in the 1v1. And again, Man LFO off to a good start. Chiefs just continue the trend that we've seen from them all year, Nick, which is that this doesn't look like a coordinated team.
Oh, pulls shotgun.
Yeah,
No.
through the floor.
No.
Okay, I don't know, man. What to say about Chiefs? Like these guys went to the Montreal Major. They obliterated GG last year. They looked like they were reading their opponents. Now it looks like they're just YOLOing every single round. It's like, oh, maybe I can get kills here. Maybe I can. And look, they're talented, right? Maybe Quiz will find another one. He does. Good. Awesome. 2K. Maybe this is winnable, but this is not how a round of Siege play out.
That's exactly it. The fact that it's a 4-3 tells one story, but how these individual rounds have played out, how Chiefs got 2 of their 3 rounds came down to individual heroics, a literal 1v4 from Odin, one of them, for example. And for this roam clear, everyone's dying solo. Blitz jumps in. I don't blame him, right? Double captain from the window. Who does that? Gets injured and dies. Vigilant gets traded back. Okay, now the Thermite hops on cams. Or not the Thermite, sorry. I think it was Brendo or Jigsaw in this case, I guess. Hops on cams. Gets pulled shotgun from top floor because I haven't drawn top floor. Chiefs are playing very, like, linear Siege, I would say. Very, like, one floor at a time, one step at a time. Like, they had 5 guys attack CEO yellow. What did Man LFO do? They had 2 admin, 1 CEO, 1 yellow skylight, 1 guy blocking downstairs. Like, they're attacking, like, from everywhere at the same time. That's what's the difference is here.
Yeah, and there's a clear vision when Man LFO were going for their attacks as well. It's like, okay, we're baiting utils so that we can plant here with disruption here and here. Whereas for Chiefs, it's like, well, I'm going to solo in here, and I'm going to solo in here. Then we're going to over push for a trade, and then it's just going to be a 2v2. This is still very winnable for Chiefs, and I mean, they need to be winning these late round chaotic situations. If they can't be winning it based on the early game strats and the win conditions, they need to be winning situations like this. Feed spotted, and Sage finds the kill. Sharky down, it's all up to Pluto now. He's going to have to prove that he could be a real planet to make this game his. A 1v2, there's the first kill! Pluto goes nuclear! He ain't no dwarf planet, he's the real deal! Another big clutch up, this time for Man LFO. Sets them strides ahead of Chiefs.
There's something about that basement bomb side that makes these two teams play down to the clutches. Man LFO had the 4v2, then the solo roamers ended up dying down to the 2v2, and it was looking really, really good until the Bog and Sage together isolated one of those defenders down to just Pluto and the Bandit. And he clutches up, just like Oda did on the enemy team a few rounds ago. And I want to say this, like Chiefs' their biggest issue is the early stage of these rounds on both sides of the coin. When they're defending, they keep not playing around the utility, giving up map control for free very often, especially on that Soda shield when they're defending top floor. And then on the attacking side, again, early on the entry, they die, they fall apart, it's not looking very good. Then they clutch up, they bring their round back. It has to be a cleaner first, like, minute and 30 seconds of the round for Chiefs. That's where they're really struggling. They're attacking, it's not gonna change. Like, this is side swap, baby. You're gonna stay here on the attacking side until you go to overtime, win or lose this game.
Chiefs need every point they can get. Like we said previously, top 2 teams get the bye in the opening round of playoffs. Chiefs need that. Didn't even make it into the top 3 last stage. They were eliminated by Ludvika. Did a full lower bracket run. Chiefs struggled to make it into that top 2 last stage. Can they do it this time around? Of course, we're playing for so much here. There's a spot at the major, several spots at the major actually, on the line for the APL. Before that, spots at land to play off for them. Scars put to rest by Jigsaw. That's a great start here for Chiefs. They've taken down the deadliest player for Man LFO. Now they need to convert the round.
Very good bait there. They had a drone in the drone hole of Coffin that said, hey, if you rappel in the right window and you hold the angle from the left window, we can bait this free kill. So that's exactly what happened, right? Scars heard the rappel on in, went for the swing, thinking that they had no idea that he was there, but a drone was there from Quiz the entire time. And that gives them that good early round advantage. And they're all playing towards admin right now, so again, it's a linear attack. But they got numbers advantage, they got the opening, and now Brendo making his move downstairs bottom spiral. So they're taking the entire map from one side and pushing to one side.
A few baits downstairs from Sharky. Brendo spots him. A few bullets his way, and now he's back upstairs to help his team. Taking control from Spiral. On the bomb side is down on the first floor by looks of it, and a lot of that pressure is happening on the top floor. Of course, this is a very difficult way to take it. I mean, going for all the way from meeting across, but they have, I was going to say nullified the mirror, but no, never mind. Pluto's actually caught him with the Wamai disc.
I was going to say, if they can protect it, if they find the round here.
Oh, there you go. Second one comes through. The Ash will dismantle that mirror window. That said, Beers' position isn't done for until Jigsaw takes his head clean off. Hunter's found one, though, before being traded himself. Pluto's got to have a big impact. There's one. There's a double. He needs to be traded by Jigsaw and Oda. But Pluto still holds on to his position after a big clutch previously. He goes big again. Sharky finds the final kill. Man LFO, they are the real deal. They're on map point, and Chiefs are sent for the rafters.
Oh my days, there is more than one entry, says Sharky. I was about to say the exact same thing. Where's the top spiral player? They both go CEO window and CEO door. Now granted, there was a top spiral player and there was a bathroom window jump in as well, but Pluto took them both down. Again, Man LFO have such a good understanding of where Chiefs are attacking from because it's a little bit predictable. Pluto hitting some great shots in that round once again, back-to-back big rounds for him. And we see them, the discipline. Man LFO, when a player goes down on defense, they are instantly watching the cameras. Pluto knew where 2 of those 3 engagements were coming from because he was getting yellow ping live information from his dead teammate. They also had a clear vision again on defense, right? Play the mirror window inside of CEO facing meeting and have the Wamai disc covered. They are burning nomads and cellmads and flashbangs only to get that one ace charge to shatter the mirror window. And all of this happened starting the round in a 4 versus 5. They were down a man and still they look like the bigger and better team.
So much more proactivity from Man LFO. Even the fact that Sharky comes up the yellow stairs to support his teammate.
Yes.
So well played. I mean, Man are just... They're looking like so much of a better team, a maturer team than Chiefs, which is so strange. This is the thing that just mind boggles me, is like every one of these Chiefs players individually is a superstar and knows how to play at the high level of Siege and knows how to chill out and not stress too much, even in a tense environment, like you're losing to a bad team or a worse team, or you're playing against a really good team, or you're playing on land. Like every single one of these players has been there. Some of them many, many times over, right? Oda's been to God knows how many LAN events now. He's played on stages before as well. They've had boot camps. These guys know what they're doing, and yet they're looking absolutely pitiful here against Man LFO. It's even worse than what we saw from them against Outlast, and it is nowhere near good enough to contest the top teams in the region like Enterprise and Ludvika, let alone a brand new, what is essentially a brand new roster like Man LFO. Now, these guys are in the driver's seat right now. Hunter's getting aggressive, him and Sharky together. A Nitro Cell goes over, gets shot by Jigsaw. But there's still a long way to go for Chiefs towards overtime.
The seconds are flying by. The first minute burned. They just into the admin offices. Look at the attacking lineup, right? The only punching power they have really is like Dokubi going for a phone call. It's all guns blazing. Besides that, I mean, they got again 8 frag grenades, but that's the only utility that they have. And Man LFO are smart. They're playing Wamai. They're playing Goyo. They're playing Smoke. They can stall for time. They can catch some of those grenades and make them less lethal. Oh, that's good for one. That's the opening.
It's a good cross, though, from Scars. 15 kills to his name. Nade comes out, but no cover. He is eventually taken on down from Sage. A very narrow angle all the way up from the skylight. And Chiefs are looking finally to retain control. Beers, though, does find somehow a headshot reaggressing into Oda and now fortifying his position with more discs as well. It's not a done deal for Chiefs. They might have the numbers advantage, but we know how quickly that can flip.
That was the last Ludvika call as well, so when they're gonna go for that final push, they're not gonna have the advantage of sound cues. They gotta go for drones and intel. Only 2 drones left in pocket.
Oh,
This gunfight's so
no.
important. And Sage still on Spiral's skylight, not even inside the building. That means now they kind of gotta reset the round. If you drop from this roof as well, you make an awful lot of noise. Now, no, if he goes yellow, Spiral.
Oh!
He goes, oh, hello?
Yeah, Spider-Man Sage drops down, finds one. Beers will trade him on back. A 3K on the round for the Wamai. It's a 2v2. Jigsaw and Quiz. The hold on for Chiefs with the game on the line. Sharky has been so good, as has Beers. 2 young rookies ready to make a statement here against the champs of yesteryear. Jigsaw and Quiz need to work together. 20 seconds left to play. As the old guard make their way forward, do they play it together? Do they isolate these positions? Sharky just locking him on down, but look at this reaggression from Beers! And the young gunners team up together. It's a 7-3 domination as the old guard are humbled, and it's paving way for Man LFO. A massive showing from Scars and the boys as Chiefs are left in the dust.
And Chiefs instantly leave the lobby feeling a bit embarrassed, and they should be, because that was Man LFO putting on a heater of a game, outclassing, better fundamentals, better strategy, more aggression, coordination. I mean, in that 2v2, they aggress at the same time and they win their ones. Chiefs didn't even have the diffuser, James.
A pitiful showing from the Chiefs. So much expectation on their shoulders, but forget about them. It's time for Man LFO to take the spotlight. We have one more game today. It's Ludvika versus TSG up next.
You know how they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
Hello chaps, I'm Mingoran, head coach for Enterprise Esports. Today I have date with Kiwi Thursday. Today we try to OCE original ice cream. Did you try before?
Yeah.
Is
They
that good?
copied all our ice creams from New Zealand.
How about this stuff? Did you try that?
They also copied all those.
Oh, it's same. It's so boring date for me. Let's try some ice cream.
You should try this one. or
Okay,
that one.
I will try this one. Paddle pop.
On fire. Tastes like a rainbow.
Oh, chef's looking shit. It's good. You like that?
I can fit the whole thing in my mouth.
How did you go from casual Cs to competing at the top level?
I started in ranked like a lot of my friends. I was just playing a lot of ranked, a lot of solo queue ranked, and not even on my server. So I lived in New Zealand, but I'd always play on like the Southeast Asian servers. And I'd always run into like these losers like Reaps96 and Hovenhurst. I'd always farm them too, so eventually they got sick of being farmed and they invited me to play. And then we'd just play ranked together every day for nearly 2 years. We'd get like number 1, 2, 3 on the leaderboards, and eventually, you know, when the time was right, their contracts were expiring, I was turning 18, and yeah, we made a team together.
Okay, that's good. Who is best ranked hero in this region, you think?
Me, by
You.
far. I don't think there's anyone close to me in terms of skill, ability to shot call, and passion in ranked. So it's definitely me.
Awesome. Your team is be considering one of the best team in the APL right now.
Probably the best.
What do
ever.
you think you bring to that lineup?
I think what I bring is good looks. I'm pretty handsome. Good brains too. Pretty smart. I'm just a lot better at the game than most of the other players in Asia, so that also helps.
Well, I can't agree that, but okay.
As I was saying, we have to look at what's ahead of us now and not worry too much about the
Wait, did you
past.
see that?
What?
Wait, what is this doing here?
Whoa! What the hell is going on?
Guys, we need to go.
Jess, what are you doing here?
We need to go now.
Jess, Doc is gone. We have to go back.
There's no time. There's really no time.
Can't take this anymore. I'm tired.
He's our head coach. I have to go save him.
You're already dead.
There's no escaping now.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's about to kick some serious ass? Remember, I'll be watching. Now you see me, now you don't.
Get ready! I'm taking them out!
Changing mags. I got this. Got my eyes on you. Located enemy.
G'day guys, and welcome back to APL OCE. It's our last game of the night. It's TSG and Ludvika. Let's talk about Ludvika, Pengu. These guys had such a showing in stage one, quite an uprising for them. They ran the gauntlet, the lower bracket, all the way from the bottom of those playoffs positions to the grand final.
Yeah. They had a great time. The story that we got to build alongside them, especially with like him, you know, leaving pro play, coming back, building the roster, and kind of like he's and the new like faster style. I loved everything play for like that top 2, top 3 spot, because rightfully so from last stage, that's what they deserve to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got talent on this roster like Cairo, who's made it to the Montreal Major with Chiefs and had plenty of experience on top teams in the region before. Even Milo, back in the old wildcard days, he's had a bit of a retirement stint. Now he's back, and you've got young gunners like Lunchbox and Karma. What can we expect out of this team now, though, after their only showing was a 7-2 loss embarrassment to EP? We'll have to see. Their opponents of TSG. Now, these guys, Pengu, are a bit less familiar names. We don't have OGs on this roster, but what we do have are some gunners. I know people in particular have pointed out players like ACOG to be real stars, and yeah, what is possible for this team? What's the high potential? It remains to be seen. Unfortunately, they had to forfeit their first match in the playoffs in stage one, and then they were taken down by Ludvika 2-0 in the second one, so we didn't really get to see everything that they had to offer in BO3s. Stage 2 is their chance to get back on the horse.
I can't believe last game we had a player named Beers, and now we have ACOG. Like, I love this we didn't have their names, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
Dude, yeah. You're forgetting about Lunchbox. One of the greatest names that we have.
Lunchbox is also great, but that's like a name that I've known for a long time, which makes it less, I don't know, desirable, I guess.
The name that always gets me in this region is on Dream Warriors, we've got Reelers, right? But the funny thing is, like, I knew him for the longest time as Fakers. That was his name, and Fakers, like, that sounds like a cool name. And then for some reason one day he switched from being Fakers to Reelers. I guess he got real or something. But yeah, we also have a player called Player. How about that?
Yeah, no. We have Diffuse America, so Diffuser has the Diffuser plant the Diffuser, like it's super confusing.
Player is the top player, yeah. So many players.
We have Ace, the caster, casting, and player named Ace playing the Ace operator. Like,
yeah, it gets confusing. Now in this game we might even get ACOG using the ACOG. We're going to go to Bank, is where we'll settle it, and it looks like it's Ludvika starting on the defensive side. They're the ones that got the pick that we were going to Bank, so it's TSG who have gone. Chosen to go attack first. Not too surprising, considering that Bank is one of the more, if not the most, attacker-sided maps. But, you know, realistically, coming into today, Pengu, we said, okay, of these 3 games, probably all of them are going to be stops. And so far, that's been true. Funnily enough, for Chiefs Man, perhaps not the direction that we expected. For Ludvika TSG, are we thinking realistically that it's going to be the same kind of a story? Has Ludvika got this in the bag?
I don't actually think this game will be super one-sided. One, because we're playing Bank, which is a very old-school map that most teams by now should be able to play. Plus, the quote-unquote better team in Ludvika is starting on the less favorable side. So I expect like a 7-4, maybe a 7-5 of that kind of caliber. Also, like you said earlier, Ludvika only played 1 game so far, a 2-7 loss to Enterprise on Lair. You know, they should go close toe-to-toe with EP and Chiefs and the top dogs in this region. And if they can't, then they're going to be hanging in much closer competition with teams like TSG. So today is the real testing ground for Ludvika and where the level is at.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely looking at Ludvika and wondering, look, are they going to be able to repeat what happened in Stage 1? Are they going to end up top 2 in OCE? Of course, that would mean that they go to LAN, they get to play for a spot at the Major against the rest of the teams in APL. That's where they have set their sights. It's not going to be easy when they've got teams like Enterprise and Chiefs to go up against. But with Chiefs on the downfall, it opens the gates for a team like Ludvika to step in, and they got to do it here, especially, as you said, after losing their first game to EP. So this is where it starts for Ludvika. We're going to bank now. Pengu, I had a little bit look back in the history books. So in Stage 1, the final match of the regular stage between Ludvika was actually against TSG. These teams faced off. Ludvika won quite handily, and then, as I mentioned before, they met in the playoffs, and Ludvika took down TSG pretty handily in a 2-0. However, it was 2 overtimes. So in theory, right, TSG have never beat Ludvika in Blast Star 6. However, in reality, there have been some tight matches.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going into overtime, we're talking 1 or 2 rounds away from, you know, a victory or defeat. So I definitely think, as I said earlier, like, this will be one of the closer games today. But it also comes down to, our team's gonna play at the level that we expect, because the Chiefs game still has me a little bit puzzled, where we're expecting one level to be played, and it's a whole much lower level that they actually get showcased in front of us, down into captain traps, not droning, not clearing together. If both TSG and Ludvika show up at their true peak form, like the best way that they can play the game, it's gonna be an absolute barn burner, great series. But I have this underlying feeling that for whatever reason today, one team is just going to play a little bit sloppy, and the other team is going to take massive advantage over that.
Yeah, I have a feeling that what we're going to see out of Ludvika is kind of the polar opposite of what we saw from Chiefs. I mean, our criticism last game was that Chiefs just looked like 5 individual players. There wasn't a clear collective vision. And to Ludvika's credit, yeah, they've got some real gunners, you know, Lunchbox and these players that are kind of stereotypically known for being solo bolos. But then you've got players like Cairo and Molosca. And these two, like, they're kind of OGs. They've got a real strategic interpretation of the game. They're going to reel in the team and say, guys, we're going to go for this as a squad. We also had the privilege of talking a lot with Milo during last stage in the post-match interviews. And my God, wasn't he such a pleasure to talk to? A real air of professionalism.
Yeah, it was one of those guys where you can have it like a real good heart-to-heart. He's also very open and sharing information on the processes of the team as well. Like, why the map video went the way that it did, the operator bans, what they were thinking starting that matchup, and they were even calling out the predictions on enemy team as saying, these guys just run around, we can beat those guys, like, they're not that good.
Yeah, well, I mean, specifically that was GG that Milo was calling out when he said that. Ironically, I think that Chiefs would probably now fit that description, unfortunately. TSG, certainly they're a team full of gunners. Maybe they won't have the structure of a team like Ludvika and Enterprise, but I want to be optimistic for them. A lot of upcoming talent, a lot of motivation for those players. And even though it's only a 27% of you that have favored TSG, I think the underdogs have a real chance, especially starting on the attacking side here on Bank.
Gotta see what the vibes are gonna be like. Will it be a shield game? Will it be chaos with the glass, the sense, the ying? The attackers have some dangerous tools. Likewise for TSG, starting on the attack, they can ban stuff like the castle, the Asami, the mirror to make the map much more claustrophobic and small for the defenders, or they can target utility instead. Right now they're taking away the Kaid, of course, once you get through those hatches and those walls, but the second operator ban, that's the big one, because now they can take away, again, like I said, the reconstruction of the map, and there are different operators that does it. There's also intel, like a Valkyrie, so tons of options.
Curious to see if Azami and Castle will stay through. So yeah, indeed they do. It's the mirror that goes, and double shield ban as well for Ludvika, getting rid of as many of those shields. If there is going to be a shield picked by TSG, it's likely to be that Blackbeard. So let's talk about the things that have been left in on the defensive side immediately straight out of the gates. For a basement defense, Pengu, we've got both the Smoke and the Tachanka.
You got Smoke, Tachanka, that's gonna be some crazy plant denial. A little bit surprised here that they're actually opting to go for the Tuberal without also not doubling down on the Goyo. What a lot of teams will do, even with the Kaid ban, is say, guys, we know we can't deny the hatches because you need Kaid for that. So what they'll do instead, they'll play double plant deny like we see here, Smoke and Tachanka. then they will play Goyo for further time deny, and then they'll play the 2 Brow without the Kai just to stall for another 30 seconds on breaching open that A bombs at hatch. But now they also got the Fun Operator in the mix here. Instead of opting for a Goyo, that is the most common, they actually go with the Scopos. You can do a solo top floor roam, play ATMs, whatever, teleport around the building, and stall for a bunch of time. So you're doing the same thing as a Goyo would, but in a very different way. So I like this from Ludvika.
And the inactive shell is left in ATMs in a very obvious position, but a position that's actually going to be kind of awkward to take down. So immediately, 20 seconds into the round, it's been droned. But do they expend util to get rid of it? Do they just rush it? There is obviously info from the defensive side. He's going to try and get the angle. I think it's going to be quite awkward. I'm not sure he will be able to get a shot. And so this is something that they're going to have to either expend explosive util to deal with, or, I don't know, just leave. And they don't have any grenades. I mean, I'm not sure there is a way. Perhaps if you rappel outside, you might be able to shoot it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know the exact angle, but I feel like rappelling upside down on the not the ATM's front side, but like by CEO side, like at the angle of the building. I think you can see it. But they're not gonna go for it. So now that big question mark will always linger. Will Scopus flank at any point in this round? Because they can try and go for it. With the right timing, you can get a freebie. We see other players where we can play proactively in open area, server stairs, main stairs. Again, the goal here is waste enough time to say, guys, we can completely fall back and deny the plant later on. With Smoke to Shanka combined, you can easily deny 64 seconds worth of time, and there's only 1 minute and 30 seconds left so far.
And Ludvika are not taking any chances after delaying the explosion on that hatch of open area. They do fall back eventually down their open hatch all the way down to the basement. So not looking to contest for too long. ACOG actually might be running in shotgun here, which I think is a very cheeky idea. One Candela goes through. Here comes the shotgun. Is he actually going to contest it? So this is just purely to try and clear the stairs, but is there any contest here? No, actually just a complete forfeit here by the defensive side. They're happy to play time instead of fighting for their lives.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Now, Warden did spin the C4 and falling back from open area, so they only have one C4 in pocket. The big thing here, I think, for TSG, we gotta see Machine on the glass pop off. Loyal finds Box. I guess Scopus went for the flank and lock.
He just peeks the hatch from elevator. That's such a wasted opportunity. Box now no longer able to go and flank from his spare and active shell.
Definitely a big lost moment there in the round. Now we gotta see Physics and the Warden, you know, try and fight back against the smoke grenades. I like the backside ticket to know. Too much planted out for a front take. Let's hit the back instead.
Glaz is the one with the diffuser though, and he does fall. A spray through the smoke from Molosca. ACOG comes to life with the Reaper, and TSG do find their kills. They've got the numbers advantage. Cairo's got to win his 1v1, and he does get the injure onto Loyal. Now he's going to go straight up the stairs. Remember, these hatches are open. Milo just has to hold on the side. He gets another down. All up to Ned. A 1v1 for Cairo up above the hatch. Everybody falls. Ludvika stand tall.
Ridiculous round out there from Milo. I mean, the smoke grenade goes out. He's played the Shanka and just pre-firing head angle on the smoke door to elevator, and Glass peeks straight into the bullet and immediately goes down. I mean, that's a round-defining moment. Only the Warden can somewhat challenge back against the glass, and he wasn't in the right position to do so. I want to praise TSG. I think they had a really good read on that round. Yes, they were gifted a free kill from Box on the Scopos, so the flank was no longer a concern of theirs, but they said, guys, we don't have time and the energy to really go for a server take. Let's get aggressive on front lobby and front elevator as well. Strategically, they did the right thing. When it came down to execution and gunfights, they just lost a couple of bad fights. Cairo, of course, playing the smoke SMG to great effect. They're finding 3 kills with that, one of them being the injure confirm. Really good stuff. And Ludvika, I love how they're playing these pocket strats again in stage 2, because they saw the similar thing from them in stage 1. And there's many different things, but in that previous one, having the Scopos in a corner of ATM that just simply cannot be cleared, expecting them to bring no grenades on the attacker lineup, is honestly super genius.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea, honestly. I think it's something I'd be interested in trying myself.
Yeah, I gotta check the angle for the rappel, because I feel like you might get the angle, but I have never tried, I gotta say.
Yeah. If it's something that you're not necessarily prepared for, you might not want to waste the time going on rappel, or it might just take a little bit of that precious time in the pro setting. Cool idea, though.
I mean, it goes to show that you're trying stuff out either in custom games or theorizing about the game, or someone in ranked was really cheeky against you and did it and you just copied it, right? Because a lot of good ideas come from really weird places, like playing a tier 3, tier 4 team, playing a ranked or casual match, because some people are demons at knowing the most like obscure details in the game.
I feel like back in the day, that was what your team did. You would just steal badly activated ideas from other people and then make them work. Like Flipside would be doing all these crazy strats, and then you would take them and make them actually work.
That is how a lot of really good teams take it. They take inspiration from worse teams and then make them workable, make them better. They have better players executing them, and a bad strat becomes good. Grenade.
Yeah, Farmer's going to go down. Ooh, two nades
nades
wasted, but we wait for the first one to detonate before you toss the second, but regardless... Ooh, is this actually going to be a quick entry? The rappel inside, the incandelas go off, the Warden wants to try and peek through. Milo's moving too much for the glasses to activate. There's actually not a player inside. I don't think the rappel was successful. Oh, never mind. Zero is inside. Yeah, he is. He's actually just prone underneath this little avenue, hiding underneath the window. That's a gate open now by Loyal. With Milo going down, no more flashes to make use of the lack of Warden. Really, TSG need to support Zero here, because he's the one who's already in the site, but he can't move. If he makes any noise, he's a dead man.
He's the playmaker, and he's been there for so long that they're gonna think it's clear on 100%. Well, how can they enable him? Smoke off one angle, push the other. Diffuser is deep in CEO, by the way. Oh, it's a tough one.
He's been spotted now on the bulletproof camera, so the jig is up. The information is out there for Ludvika. Can they peek him? Loyalth will find another one onto Physics. Loyalth is the deadly player in the stock. Hallway, it's a direct trade. Leaving it all on box now on a 1v2. Loyal still holding on to the hallway. It's him and ACOG both with DMRs up against the SMG-11 from this young gunner of box. No C4 to speak of. Oh, quick reaction. Waiting for the angle, sprays him down a little bit, but Loyalth wins the fight. Massive round from the Sens, soloing from the stock side. I think a big 4K for him as well, and TSG are on the board.
It's one of those tough positions, right? When you're playing janitors or teammates around you that can support you, it's a power position. When you're in a 1v2 or like a 1v3 situation and you're stuck in janitors, they know exactly where you are. You have one corner you can play in. If you drop the hatch, you keep up the bomb site. If you peek the door, you get shot in the body. So there's really no good way out of that position for Ludvika and TSG. They respected that. They knew that. Held the angles together and confirmed that final kill. A good start, I gotta say. TSG just saying, guys, let's just reset the round. Cyro's in on a prone angle. It really made it work for them. Now, granted, the trade that happened between Castle and the Ash was a bit of a 50-50, right? If Cyro just gets the kill clean, the round is so easy for TSG. Like us Ludvika, if they get the kill clean, much easier for them. The fact that it's a trade complicates things a lot for Ludvika, so they have one body left.
5 seconds to insertion.
Ludvika have plenty of bomb sites they can try on out. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing a Teller's Archives bomb site. You know, I've got a bit of nostalgia for the OG bank when we used to see that as the second bomb site always picked. I feel like there's 4 playable bomb sites on this map.
I mean, technically a bomb site is playable always because you can always pick it, right? If it's not locked in the rotation. But Teller's Archives is definitely one of the... It's a tough one. It really is. I think it's playable for sure as well. But I think it takes some... a good pocket strat or exploiting a weakness from your opponent, because fundamentally it doesn't give you a lot of benefits to play that bomb side.
Caro's found a spawn peek onto Ned. No more Deimos. What was that? Oh, that must have been on the roof perhaps. Yeah, it's
outside the window, yeah.
Peeking stock, bit of aggression.
Deimos, though, it's a huge pick. I mean, they're playing this Blightbeard, Dokkaebi, Deimos, Roam Clear kind of lineup, and now they're losing the tracking operator of the Deimos. That's a big loss. Keep a barrier. It's creating a one-way angle to the toes of Machine. Takes a tiny bit of damage, and the time he crosses back into what's stuck. TSG not really making headway right now on top floor. Ludvika, they have a crossfire. Milo and Janitor, and Chiron stuck.
Oh, Barry needs to make sure not to overpeak, though. Spray through the walls, Machine will fall to Milo. and immediately fall on back again. Ludvika happy to take the advantage that they've got of two players. They need to over-contest here. As Loyalth is still holding a very valuable cutoff all the way from outside on the rappel, but he's not seemingly found any kills yet. And now that his team has died all around him, he's going to have to move. This is good from Luda. They just completely consolidated their defense.
I just love how clear the communication is, right? It's like, okay, we have the crossfire, Kyra goes to wall bang, and Milo holds the door with a shotgun. The second they get the kill onto Machine's Ash, they immediately both drop down the hatches. They know they gotten their 2 kills, they don't gotta stay for more. They're playing very old school Siege with the more newer generation level players, right? Mechanically talented, good aim, etc. Good fundamentals. C4 pre-ripped would be a freebie. Oh, no.
Oh, Nitro, that's going to work. No, somehow it doesn't, but it doesn't matter because Box will follow it up with the spray from the Roni. He's still in this position inside of Tellers. He will be put down by Zero. 2v4, still challenging these last 2 TSG players. ACOG, ironically not with the ACOG, but with the Holo sight on the Blackbeard as he tries to isolate these 1v1s, but Ludvika aren't giving him anything. He gets up nice, close and personal with physics, but misses the dash and will get knifed at the backside. It's a solid round from Ludvika. Straight back into it.
And again, it's just good basics. It really is. And they can carry you so far, especially on maps like Bank and Clubhouse that are very coordination and execute oriented for both teams. I mean, defenders, they don't have a lot of different win conditions on this map of Bank, right? On that open area hold, you're holding top floor, then you're dropping down to first floor. You can maybe play by the basement staircases like we saw from Ella. That's it. So trying to hold on the top floor for as long as possible and playing together for a kill, that takes you so far in the map. Same thing on Clubhouse, right? Hard destruction, super important. And some teams, despite being in tier 1 level of play, they struggle sometimes with getting those walls opened up. So I really, again, Ludvika in that regard, really good team. TSG, if they're gonna hold their nerve early and not lose important operators, you know, that quickly in the round, like the Demos dying the first 20-30 seconds, they're looking pretty damn good. But their plan Bs seem to be a little bit more lackluster. The plan B in that previous round was Machine solo pushing down a hallway into a 1v2. One of those people being a smoke shotgun in close quarter combat or a meat shotgun in close quarter combat. You're not gonna win that. So we gotta see TSG have a good first plan, and if that doesn't work, have a good backup plan.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Oh, well, credit to TSG, they do always bring something a little bit interesting to the table. This time it's the Ying. There were a few repicks considered there. The Glaz was picked for a second. You're going to end up with the Twitch, which I think is a good pick. We talked a lot about the Goyo before, Pengu. It has been brought now. In fact, we've got the Goyo Tuberau Smoke and Tachanka combination, which you mentioned, all of which are about delaying time. And the Twitch is the main operator that is, I think, going to help with the Goyo.
Yeah, and then the 5th operator, I didn't really talk about it last round, but that is often the warding, because you can, you know, see through the smokes and the flashbangs from Ying, etc. So this is the prime 5-man lineup for a default basement defense here on Bank. Milo taking a bit of his fire damage from the Goyo, unfortunately, as a Twitch drone found 2 of those. There was a 3rd, but he actually didn't see the table there. But that buys you 40 seconds of time right there. Like that's again getting that done as early as possible before Twitch dies, before, you know, the Twitch drones die to like the roamers, etc. Very good piece of value there. Now what they gotta do is have a pacey, a nice, good, quick roam clear, because despite the Goyo fires having been popped, the 2 of them, there's still Tachanka, there's still smoke. No Tuberau though, as you peek the door and you go down.
Yeah, it's the danger of going up against a DMR on a tight angle. Very rarely are you going to win that. Armor humbled. TSG make quick use of the Deimos and Loyal together to take map control. Everyone down on the defensive side, back on the basement. So it's a minute and a half to try and burn, and that's the last C4 as well being used early. Interesting to see that Ludvika are electing to use those Nitros early to try and go for aggressive kills instead of waiting for the plan. But perhaps it's alludes to the fact that Ludvika don't think TSG are going to go for a pretty typical plant in default in server. That doesn't seem to be their MO at all.
Not their MO, but right now they're trying for it. It looks like, I mean, they got decent amount of time to work with. Like 60 seconds can be stalled out by the single Goyo that is remaining, the fire and the smoke. Being down the gun, that's the big deal right now for Ludvika. They have less angles to cover. Mind you, Shanka has gadget out to use the plant denial, so does Smoke. They only really have 2 constant guns watching 2 different angles from Physics and Box. So they're limited in what they can cover, and Physics is all in garage. Only 3 people by the bomb side.
And Physics is likely going to lose to Loyal, who's been really hot with that DMR today. Physics doesn't have the ACOG scope, as Goyo has lost it. Meanwhile, ACOG himself has found a kill on his entry. Down into Gold Vault, he is traded, but that's the diffuser on the ground. It forces TSG to get aggressive, but Loyal does win his fight in garage, leaving Cairo alone now. But with the diffuser within his clutches, he needs to win some gnarly fights with the SMG-11. Doesn't actually get the kill. I think he thought he won the fight. A first one found, but Ned will trade it back, and TSG are pulling their punches right now. They're fighting tooth and nail for these attack rounds.
It's a tough one, right? You have the Goyo and garage, and you call it perfectly. It's non-ACOG defender versus ACOG DMR from the attack. You're not supposed to win that ever. There is a world where maybe you surrender garage because there's like 30 seconds left, play by the ramp, you can, you know, run back towards the bomb side, play bottom main staircase, just have one more gun available for the bomb side. Ludvika pretty much played out that round as if they had 5 defenders alive. When you lose the 2 brow early, you gotta cut your losses somewhere on the map, and I think garage should be pretty quickly to go. I mean, you got Smoke, and you got the Goyo Fire, and Tashanka. You don't need to play in the red hallway and swing for kills necessarily. Then again, Loyal is 8-2, putting up a heater of a game right now. The bigger concern is just winning a gunfight against that guy, because he is winning every single match he takes so far.
Oh, TSG, not to be underestimated. You think we're a bit unfair earlier today when we said that it was going to be probably stomps all day? I feel like we definitely didn't give enough credit to Man LFO.
I think the map has a big impact on how, like, for example, when we did the first matchup with Enterprise,
Clubhouse,
it's like, the second I heard it was Clubhouse, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a stomp. Like, it has to be a stomp, just looking at the matchup. The fact that we're playing Bank between TSG and Ludvika, to me, is what makes me predict that it's gonna be like a 7-4, 7-5, because I think both teams can play it. Had it been Lair, had it been Clubhouse, had it been Conchit or Skyscraper, I would have probably gone with whoever side's defense is gonna just steal this game away.
Yeah. Do you think that TSG starting attack is got anything to do with the fact that they're looking pretty good here?
I don't actually know if that's what I would say it as. I mean, they've been looking pretty good, period. Whether it's attack or defense, I don't think it's the biggest thing. I think they've been good, you know, they've been good at understanding the win conditions, when to go backside, when to go frontside on basement, how to pick apart top floor, getting the 2v1 gunfights, the crossfires. When they can execute their plan A that they desire from the get-go, they're a great team. But as I said before, the plan B is a lackluster. Box was on cameras. Guys from below, great value in the buck.
Yeah. Well, plan A is working just fine so far for TSG. I think the response here from Ludvika is to try and contest it. That's what Milo's going for at the moment. It's good that they're not scared, at least.
Yeah, the issue with this bomb set is that you can't really contest for free picks without jumping out a window and doing something really crazy. You're stuck in corners, one janitor, one stuck, one meeting. So right now, I mean, fishing here is good. I think it's Milo and the Warden, but it's a risky gunfight, right? If Milo goes down, then a lot of value gets lost. And they got Cyro and Capital. They can use the fires here above the janitor wall and push out Milo off that closet.
Yeah, there's temptation here to make something work. 2 nades go out from Ned. He's the one with the diffuser. He tosses out his EMPs for good measure too. Goes in for a swing, ready to take the fight. Takes down Cairo and finished off. There is a frost mat for ACOG. He's going to pick himself back up. The plan is going down. No, Ned stops it for a brief moment, but with Karma all alone, forced into a 1v5 that becomes a 1v4. Locked out of sight. Thanks to the Rayora, Karma has nothing left to do but try his best to find each pick one at a time. TSG will lock him out of the side and put him back down again and take the lead here on Bank.
Again, plan A is solid, right? Very clear vision. Block downstairs, disrupt janitors, capture fire, capture smoke, grapple on in, chaos in the server. As long as Ned wins this one gunfight or gets into the plant position alive, the round is really solid for TSG. And if the diffuser goes down, then it's wraps. You can play on the window repels, and it is practically unwinnable for any of those defenders unless you have significant numbers advantage, which they did not. Final round and a half. Ludvika are gonna go to open area and look for an even one, try and get a 3-3 scoreline, and to do so, they've called in for reinforcements. The newest operator, Denari, making his appearance. The lineup right now, Cairo being 9-3, stuck on SNG 11 duty for the majority of this game, has been unleashed. Ella Scorpion in hand, the new Prismas, the trip connectors. Curious how it's gonna be utilized. We've seen some teams spam all 7 lasers on one single doorway. It looks funny. It gets destroyed by a single grenade. We've seen them being put on staircases for head drops, for window jump-ins. Still got 5 in pocket right now to be spent.
Attackers are moving out to locate.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised when I see it a little bit more on CEO. I'm also a little bit surprised we don't see them used more mid-round, because you could toss one out on each side of a window frame, and then if one gets naded, you just like repair the one that's been destroyed. But no, we haven't
exactly
seen that so far.
I do think that's the long-term meta, is that you throw the mid-round as the operator gets more and more figured out. Because right now you connect the dots and they can see the laser. But imagine a world where you let them take a certain space on the map, then you toss in that final prisma and it all connects, and now you're standing in the middle of the lasers essentially. Like that could be an angle.
You could put like 4 on one side of a door, and there's no visible lasers, right? Because they're only between those 4. And then you put 1 on the other side of the door. Immediately you have 4 lasers going across that. That's what, 60 damage straight out of the gate, and the slow effect if someone walks into it.
Small things like that. But TSG, very slow round. Look at the lineup. They got the Ying, they got the Sense, they got the Glass and Armor. They want to execute. That means they want the 5v5. Armor up the hatch and basement. Glass in the window. Sense outside E-box. It's a 3, 2, 1 full 5v5 brawl execute.
The Glass is watching the Nook to try and make his way in through lobby. It's a Sens and a chaotic entry from the Ying. It's a very confusing round. There is a push everywhere. Milo is down, but not out as of yet. Ned's likely going to use the Gyro Hook to get himself into sight. Meanwhile, it's an entry here from Zero. Oh, he's being backstabbed by Karma, but he wins the fight regardless. It's Box against everyone from TSG that remains, which is 3 of them, 2 of which are low HP. This is very winnable. He's also right next to Milo. He might be able to scout for a little bit of info. Machine's still on the ground, not likely to be picked up. I like the way TSG really slowed this round down.
Not throwing the plant, they want to confirm exactly what's happening. They knew they downed 1 player in box earlier, the Armor downstairs. But they're afraid of a flank right now, so Cyro isn't planting.
Oh, no. Nope. No way to go for the revive. TSG are watching. Oh, they're very aware. There's a neat angle all the way from inside of sight. TSG get the 4-2 split they were looking for, Pengu. They really made good on that attacking side pick, and now we move on to their defense.
Yeah, it's down to Ludvika to show us how good they are as a team. Of course, Bank, typically speaking, is much more attacker favorite than defense, which means they are now on the stronger side. But it comes down to how well can you execute, how well can you play and problem solve. TSG showed us in 3 of their 4 round victories, they had a very clear plan from the very beginning when the round started. They had picked specific operators in specific positions and played their roles to perfection. That is how that final round is played out. Every single thing they wanted worked out. Besides the Nook didn't quite get into the lobby for the backstab. It was for spot out in a gunfight. But the side players, they succeeded. Armor even got a injure from the hatch and basement. Ludvika got to show us good fundamentals, good step-by-step process. And picking apart these sides one by one. Operator bans. A little bit different. The double heartbreach from TSG, taking away both the ranged heartbreaches of the Ace and the Hibana. And what this does is it heavily enables that top floor CEO bomb side, as the elevator wall cannot be opened any longer, given that whole hallway free space top floor. It's just only this one angle.
Yep.
As long as they reinforce the wall.
It's interesting. A lot of the time, teams will ban operators that they think are really going to help on the basement, because everyone, when you think Bank, immediately you're talking about that basement bomb site, but that's already the most defender-sided bomb site. If you're an attacker, you might not want to be banning something to really target that. If you're a defense, you're maybe not using your bans to try and fortify a bomb site that you're already defender-favored. So instead, yeah, Ludvika, or rather TSG, use both of your bans to prevent Ludvika from having operators that are good on the top floor. Instead, it's going to be a jump out from Machine. No dice. Oh wow, another one from Loyalth?
Oh, that's cheeky.
This is very
It's
aggressive.
a big investment.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 players, 1 Valcam that's just gonna die. I mean, it's not gonna survive outside. Box finds Ned instead, though. So aggression pays off.
Yeah, early kill, that's the ACOG being brought as well. On the Aruni.
Scanning for electronic devices.
I've seen Box play a lot of this IQ, and he does spend a lot of time checking for gadgets, which sadly, a lot of IQs miss that memo sometimes. They think that it's just a great one and a 3-speed operator, but no, Box is always checking.
A lot of drone work as well. I think Asami might have found the gap, though. He was droning into tellers. Oh. It's somewhere.
I don't know. I don't think they know. Might sneak
No, he's found the gap.
They know about Machine.
So they...
Ooh, Milo's taking a bit of damage. Yeah, Machine's been spotted. Cairo finds a double. Was that
from the
2-player jump?
skylight?
Oh, that's
no.
embarrassing. 2 players at the bottom of... Yeah, that's not a good look here for TSG. They really need Zero to go big. He spots 1 player, gets the down onto Box. That's not going to mean a lot, though. That's just 1 pick. It's just 1 player. The other side of the map, well, Ludvika have really taken control. Zero now has to find 4 more kills. Karma shuts him down with the Blackbeard, and it's a solid lockdown for Ludvika, getting 1 step closer to tying the scoreline.
It's an awkward round to break down because it didn't feel like to me Ludvika did anything particularly amazing. It was most of TSG were happily fighting them in areas that they probably didn't have much business fighting them in. I mean, overstaying in lobby, 2 defenders dying here essentially. Double flank Heaven Stairs. I don't think that's a bad idea because solo flanking is kind of iffy sometimes, but both people dying to a guy on the sky out of Cairo is a bit of a unfortunate situation. We didn't really see any strats being played out or real proper gunfights because it was very one-sided, and I feel like that's the tester for TSG. The plan there was very clear. Let's disrupt Ludvika, attack them before they attack us, despite us being the defenders, and then take it from there. It very clearly did not work, and look at the lineup. They're playing heavy util, plant deny, information, and counter information. It's a very different round already from the prep phase situation, so I expect TSG to play more slow pace and a bit more strategical this round.
Did they reinforce the red hatch as well? I think they might have.
I think they did all of them.
No, sorry.
Never mind.
They are opening red hatch. I thought for a second we were seeing a very old school defense with a full turtle, but no, we still have the retreat angle available here in the way of that hatch and open area. So it's going to be a soft roam to fall back, as is current meta and exactly what Ludvika did. But like you said, I think they're not going to play too aggressively on this roam. I think they're just going to try and shoot drones, have a bit of presence to delay time, and then fall back, rely on the smoke and the gas.
Very fast entry though. I mean, 30 seconds, 2 guys top floor, stock hatch opened up, TSG 1 player inside of the elevator, 1 inside of open area. There's 2 ways to fall back. Either you get a kill, you kill enough drones, or the timer gets too low. That's the sign for defenders to say, guys, we got what we wanted, let's fall back. Don't know if the drone counter is accurate, but it only shows 3 drones left remaining for Ludvika, and if that is true, it's very damning.
I mean, Ned should be dead, never mind. He finds a kill and falls back. That's far more than I expected he would get. He's also taken down the Sens, he's taken down Box. Bit of a shocker as well. Box has died every single round so far.
L.
Ned hits him with the L. And we've had some good shit talk in the chat today. I'm here for it. Hatches are going to get open. It's not all done and dusted though here for Ludvika. They've still got plenty of gas in the tank.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at it right now, and I think they still got the tools to go for an execute, but TSG needs to make a massive blunder somewhere along the way, I think, for Ludvika to have a winning chance. They got all the plant deny, they got 3 2-door canisters in pocket they can use, so they got 2 C4s. It's, the saving grace, though, is that the fact that there's a shield available for Ludvika that denies the garage angle, which is very lethal if that's been opened up. Shield on the back, go for a play. There it is. Long line of sight. You can play DMR there. Yeah. So because they have a fuse shield, the default plant is accessible.
Yep. The fuse here has also been really valuable at just clearing out all the Vulcan canisters in sight. We saw him place one of the cluster charges on the reinforced wall. this is definitely possible, even in a 4 versus 5. As Physics starts to go for that plan, it's a bit of an off angle for him. He's really not being gassed. This is going to be the round, surely. A Nitro Cell somehow tanked, and Physics confirms the plant now for Ludvika. TSG forced to retake in the 5v4. They've got the numbers, but they don't have the positions. It's going to need to be an up the stairs retake with Ned leading the way. Machine to support him. It's on Milo to cover. One player goes all the way top floor. Look at the Rats racing back upstairs to try and retake this room and contest Ludvika. But Milo's got it on lock. He's found a double kill. Karma's got his. Ned and Loyal now desperately trying to find their way back to the side, back to the diffuser, but there's nothing for it. Ludvika come to life on the attacking side and dominate TSG. The scoreline is even again.
It's so good. Mind you, they had 2 drones left alive at the end of that round, and both the drones were watching the flanks. Milo was watching main stairs, realized the new one guy went top floor, so he flicks towards bottom heaven, and because he blocked open the angle on the quad wall and kitchen, he can see the server stairs door. Milo was watching top floor hatch, main hall, and the server flank at the exact same time. Great communication between the guy who's dead on the cameras and the guy responsible for watching the flank, saying, hey, 1 top, 2 first floor. And good problem solving. Again, the fuse shield completely saves the round. You can only plant in that default spot in 2 ways. 1, if you smoke off the garage angle, or technically if you take garage control, but at 4v5 you can't do that. Or if you have a way to block the angle, like a shield operator. And TSG, I said it, James, they have to make a massive blunder to lose this round. That blunder was the missed toxic bait from the smoke. That was supposed to stop the plant, and it didn't.
Yeah. That's the problem with having a single point of failure. And we see it so often on that bomb site. 1 C4 misses, 1 gas doesn't land in time or doesn't land correctly, and that is the round done. As soon as the plank goes down, you've lost. And that's why people always bring redundancy. They don't just go for a smoke, they go for a smoke and a C4, or they'll have an echo or some other way to deny that plant. Speaking of, this time around, it's a top floor defense, but Machine is on that echo. It's going to be less so for plant denial and more so for active information in the round. We've seen a lot of IQ from Ludvika, but this time Box is instead on the thinker, so there's no direct counter to that echo.
Kali, Finger, Aura, Blitz, Capital, Ludvika, Plan A looking very spicy here, gentlemen. No surprise, Kali is on a far away rappel, watching the lobby flank, watching the windows upstairs. Aura can close off the doorways to, disable some of the line of sight. Blitz can storm in through and take control.
Oh wow, which doorway are we going for here with the Rayora? It doesn't matter because the Blitz is the first one in. Box does find the kill. He's about to get traded by Loyal. And the push has had the wind sucked out of its sails. Karma goes in now, Reaper in hand. And it's a standstill for Ludvika. It's not been good enough, but Zero going down from Physics might make this possible. A trade still favors Ludvika. As Machine finds Milo though, it doesn't look solid. For the attacking side, Karma and Physics need to regroup. Physics still on the window rappel. Karma in the building with a good gun too. He needs to lock up the side, but it's awkward. Even trying to activate one of those Rayora gadgets and protect himself, he's not safe to do so because the player watching him from conference, it's Ned. Instead, he goes and opens up another avenue to try and retake. Spiral. Gonna find a fight against Machine. He needed to win it, and he does. Spots the last player. Now it's all up to Ned for TSG. Karma and Physics just waiting. But Ned's got the angle. Bit more damage done onto Karma as Physics deploys those smokes. It's up to Ned to isolate 1v1. Spots the player, and he's down. He's got the diffuser in his clutches, but Physics will win the fight regardless. And with that, TSG, their hopes and their dreams have been ripped away from them. Ludvika have taken the lead.
That round can only be described as absolute hell in a cell if you were Ludvika. From the second you pushed up the red staircase, the moment you rappelled in the bomb site windows, they were completely stuck, boxed in by castle barricades, key-bass armies everywhere on the bomb site, and no drone information. That 2v2 was problem solved off feeling in the server, intuition, an understanding of where the defenders might be, because they had no idea where they actually were. TSG are so close in so many of these rounds, and small mistakes are costing them their victories. The blitz goes in, flashes, gets traded out, Box gets shot through the wall, goes down. This right here should be the round state where TSG should be comfortable, but then two people on defense, they overstep their welcome. They die to people on the outside window repels, and the numbers advantage just crumbles right in front of them so quickly. TSG calling that tactical timeout, and I don't think they're doing anything really wrong for TSG. They just gotta settle themselves down a little bit, relax, calm down, and don't rush into these decisions in the server. They're overly moving on defense. When you get the kills, sit down, hold your angles, and hold the crossfires.
It's the closest the TSG have got to winning a defense. The first two defenses, they lost with still 4 players from Ludvika left alive. So after losing 3 in a row, I think it's time to take that tactical timeout. They've done so. They've had a chance to talk, figure out what they're going to do. They've got all the bomb sites unlocked still. They're going to go down to the basement. Remember, Angu, the only reason that they lost this round, more or less, was just that missed smoke. Narrow margins, right? It ended up being an utter domination from Ludvika in the post plan. So that needs to be the focus from TSG. No more little mistakes, because a little mistake is not so little when it costs you the round.
It's also why I'm actually not surprised to see them run back the exact same lineup, right? Because what they did last time technically worked right until it didn't. The devil's in the details, and right now ACOG playing the smoke. All eyes on you, buddy. Miss that smoke again, and the round might just be over like last time. Ludvika and Silla responds, right? They bring out the fuse for you to clear. They love the Capital being played pretty much every single round so far. Milo has been excellent on the block. It's been Box who's been the most like flex player so far, playing stuff like Scopus and defense and playing a bit of different operators on the attacking side. I like this though. If it works, why change it?
Yeah. Similar for Physics. I mean, he's floated around between Ying, Fuse, Capital. Now he's on the Fuse again. I think the Fuse pick is cool as well. It means you've got a bit of shield power, but you also have, you know, hard breach. You've also got the cluster charge gadget, which clearly they're interested in using more so than, for example, like Blitz is banned, so you could be using Monty with the tin can opener and smokes, but I do think the Fuse is actually more valuable here.
Yeah. It's like you can play Twitch and Monty, or you can just play Fuse, and Fuse can get both of those jobs done for the Goyo canisters. It also directly counters the two brow as well, because if you freeze the walls, you can then go on the other one server and then destroy it as well very safely. So very good high value operator pick for sure. The question is not the bombs that execute though, for me. It's about the roam clear. Last time, you know, we died here. Oh, okay.
The last time we did get a kill from Ned. This time he goes down early, but Loyal, aggressive on the stairs, finds a shotgun to Karma's face. TSG maintain the lead. You know what's the most important thing about that too is you just stripped away a lot of the coverage that Ludvika needs to make a traditional execute work, which means this is going to be a less orthodox attack, and that's exactly what TSG want.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but Karma had no business swinging bottom main staircase against a shotgun when they already got the kill in the elevator. Like, take that 4v4, get the roam clear, and you can execute. Also, they mistimed the A bombs at a hatch, so they're gonna fuse the hatch and use the can opener. The can opener was too quickly used and the fuse charge didn't get all the value. This one will, however. So fire is cleared. Now there are 2 C4s, 3 toxic babes, and 60 seconds. This is plantable, but it's also deniable. It depends on who makes the bigger mistake and who covers everything perfectly.
And this is where Ludvika get punished for having that player die early. They don't have numbers here. You need gun up in order to prevent an aggressive push, in order to prevent the C4. Nitro Cell goes out, doesn't do the damage, but the smoke will land. This is well played from TSG. They're really doing their due diligence, crossing all of their T's, dotting all of their I's. But Box has got to do double duty. He's got to watch the flank, and he's got to watch down the hatch, and he's going to over-aggress. He will take out Loyal. It's worthwhile. As like you said, there's no more Nitro Cell available. Physics is just biding his time, waiting for his moment. ACOG is all out of smokes. We're going to need to see a bit of aggression from Cairo, and he punishes Zero, who finds nothing as a result of that sneakily ingress into the bomb site. All up to Machine. He will deny the plan, but Cairo's got his back from up above. Ludvika are stealing ahead here on Bank.
Again, very small mistakes that have massive consequences. The Mute is flanking main stairs. Not a bad play, right? Mute had the spare C4 because Tubrow tossed it earlier. If you have the Mute and Tubrow, whoever doesn't have the C4 He should be the one flanking. The wrong person was doing the flanking job. And also, outside of that, because the smoke missed the previous basement defense, they were spamming the smokes way too quickly. When the first plant was going down, it was a smoke, followed by a C4, followed by a second smoke just for good measure. They spent 3 different throwable utilities out of the 5 that they had in the same second. That meant that they had no more smokes to plant deny, and the last C4 is flanking. And now they're forced to swing and take gunfights, and it's just messy. Ludvika won that round without Cairo even using the fire from Capital, because they knew what to hold, they knew what plant deny was available against them. Again, Ludvika just plays so good on the fundamentals. The step 1, the step 2, the step 3, excellent work from them.
Ludvika have really shown that Bank, we knew it was a bit attacker-sided. We knew that TSG came up 4-2, but Ludvika have now won their 4 attacks, and they've done it in 4 rounds. TSG had not been able to keep pace, even though their defenses haven't been shocking. Like, this isn't like the Chiefs game where we saw teams losing rounds. This is Ludvika winning rounds, and they're not doing it without a few mistakes of their own as well. As you said, last round, Karma got a little bit too egregious on the main stairs. He was punished for it. Ludvika still won it from a 4v5. TSG got punished. Ludvika are just streets ahead on their attacking side at the moment, and TSG's fate will rest on this top floor defense.
Curious what they want to do here. A lot of information from the zero. Again, the flexibility is incredible. So many different operators. I mean, it's all gone to like the smoke fire from Capital, the glass in the windows, and the information from the zero. That can win you this round single-handedly. The one counterplay right now. Valkyrie cameras giving so much excellent information on the bomb side. And of course, Warden that can see through the smokes and the flashbangs. Ludvika, ideally, they need an opening kill somewhere. Either by using the Capital fire or maybe a smoke on the glass somehow and get that free kill. Because in a 5v5, TSG can watch all the angles and have enough throwables, right? 3 C4s, they can deny any plant position, so a plant should not be possible. But I've said that before.
Yeah, the Roteros are coming in to clear some of that util though, and if they can take down that bulletproof camera, then there's not going to be nearly as much info for TSG. And you know what, Pengu? When there's no info, TSG are more likely to overextend and forfeit that pick. Our tension's running high in the TSG camp. 10 rounds in, staring down match point. That's the question that we wonder as the fire comes out. Zero takes a lick of damage. It's going to be the rappel in from Physics, but immediately ACOG's there to respond. Ned will support him as well. And Ludvika are at a loss, but they do find some silver lining to that cloud. It's not a dark cloud at all. It seems to be that the storm's over for Ludvika as TSG try and hold on. Karma gets in the building, a C4 will miss, but Karma's exposed to multiple angles and now trapped in a corner, just waiting for one of these anti-TSG players to peek him. It's Zero to do the honors. Box will happily lap it up. And now TSG are again at a disadvantage. Loyal to try some heroics. It's been quite the game for him. And there's no better moment than now. In the 2v2, Ludvika, they have the bomb site. But Milo's coming in from behind, and with the SMG-12, he swipes Ned's head straight off. It's a 1v1 now for Loyal. Up against Milo, SMG-11 up against SMG-12, but Milo brings the DMR to the fight and is hunting for it. 18 seconds, and the spray! The old guard wins it out! Ludvika, after a tense first half, they go straight sets on their attacking side. 5 rounds in a row to put TSG away for the night.
And they're doing so many different ways. Problem solving, planting, holding the angles, countering, flexible in operators and different bomb sites, flanking, pushing, rushing. It's so many different things Ludvika to do time and time again. They don't win because TSG make the same mistake. They don't win because they make the same attack themselves. They beat TSG at their own game in so many different ways. And TSG's biggest problem, it happened in that final round. They are overswinging people on the exterior window rappels when they have no business doing so. They gotta plant themselves in the ground and stop over peaking.
A much needed resurgence after their loss to Enterprise last week. In a world where Gaming Gladiators have evaporated and Chiefs are on their way out, Ludvika need to step up, and they have. They're looking like the second best team in the region right now, and maybe one day they could challenge for first. Maybe, just maybe, they could be in contention for a major. if they keep this fight up, they might be on the cards. TSG fought valiantly today, Pengu. This was not a case of one dominating team and one team to lay down and die. TSG are on the up, but Ludvika, they're just on another level.
Yeah, I think Ludvika's previous stage earlier this year has really grown them into being the kind of team that we see today, where they can play together and just like, again, taking the first, second, third step in a round, whether it's going to be breaching or droning or setting up, they can get to the execute stage of a round so consistently, and they thrive in that area. They don't have like bad early games. They don't die to silly things besides Karma mainstays at one time, that one mistake. They're so good at knowing what they want and how to get there.
And who would have thought that out of retirement, Milo is back and potentially playing the best he ever has. Once upon a time, he was the young gunner on a failing wild card. Now he's back. He's the old guard. He's cool, calm, and collected in the clutch. At the end of the day, he knows how to get it done. And you've got Cairo dropped from the Chiefs and found a new home. You've got upcoming talent on this roster as well. Ludvika are looking very solid. As for TSG, it's a disappointing end to what looked to be a promising game for them. But to reflect upon the day, I think, Pengu, there's nothing crazy surprising aside from that Chiefs loss. I mean, that was a big black mark on their record that is getting grimmer and grimmer by the day. But what does that tell us about Man LFO, this new roster, the old circular spheres that have been through a bit of a transformation, a bit of a new iteration? Is this potentially a new kid on the block to contest?
It very much feels like it. I mean, if Man LFO can find consistency in their gameplay and play the way they did today, like every single play day, we have like 4 teams in this region that can fight for the top spot. And of course, Chiefs, what they were doing today, they gotta hit the next couple of play days doing the complete opposite because they look so lackluster. Ludvika, better team play than Chiefs in my mind. Man LFO, better team play as well. And TSG might even be on the same par as Chiefs too.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to see that TSG versus Chiefs game. I think it could be very competitive, and I wouldn't be surprised if Chiefs get humbled even further there. Even Dream Warriors, who got pretty obliterated today by Enterprise, even they themselves have found a win in their opening playday against Outlaws. Of course, that's the 7th team that didn't play tonight. We've got 7 teams in our league, and all of them except for TSG, Pengu, actually already have a win under their belt, thanks to Ludvika getting that win just now. And I have no doubt that before the end of the stage, TSG will have not just one, but a couple of wins under their belt, and a couple of points on the scoreboard. This is where we sit at the moment. Like I said, unfortunately, TSG haven't been doing too hot recently, but the rest of the squads are doing really well. Enterprise taking first. Chiefs have dropped all the way down into 4th place.
Yeah, not what we expected. I mean, it is only the 3rd playday, to be fair, so things, of course, can change. But if you were to try and paint a picture of what we expect to happen based off these first 2 playdays, it's not going to be the positioning of all these 7 teams they would expect just a few weeks ago. And it comes down to, as we said, Man LFO surprising positively, Chiefs surprising negatively, and TSG having some true potential here.
Absolutely. Of course, Enterprise being the team that we're going to be looking at, they are soaring ahead on round difference and on points. Now, a reminder to everyone, the APL is getting a little bit spicier this time around. Pengu, we're so excited to go to LAN for the major qualifier. Of course, the top teams from the OCE, Asia, and APAC North regions will go to that. But not just do we have the LAN, but we've got what we're playing right now in the group stage into the top 6 going to playoffs. That means only one team in OCE actually misses out on going to playoffs. How
that
hilarious
sucks.
would it be if that ended up being the Chiefs? With how the teams have been playing so far, I wouldn't be that surprised. Any final words before we close out OCE for the day, Nick?
The only thing I'm going to say is I said 7-4 in bank, and I'm not proud of how we got there with a 5-round straight for Ludvika, but the round score was true in the end.
Oh, well, very insightful from you, as always, Nick. Of course,
Soft
Enterprise
place,
are on top. Man LFO on the rise. Ludvika are looking solid as ever. But what is going on with Chiefs? We have a lot of questions that are yet to be answered here in the OCE League. And, of course, we have a hell of a lot more playdays to go. So stick around for more APL in the coming weeks. It's going to get absolutely chock-a-block, especially once we hit playoffs. So enjoy your night, and we'll see you for the next APL broadcast.
見上げていたあの夜もふと窓に映った 射が心地よくて期待してんのバカみたい今はまた涙の色はエメラルドブルー宝石みたいに光ってる何もかもを捨てたかった憂鬱なあの日々も騒ぎ始めた胸の中の答えを探す旅に出よう流れ星を追い越してくスピードで絶えないメロディー夢が枯葉のように宙に徘徊セオリー私なんだったっけ見えなくてうなる雑踏のクラクションだって